Hello everybody and welcome to Finals Day here at ETF2L Prem Season 48. I am Rook and I'm joined by Stu on production and Ben PL on the mic with me as we bring you the lower bracket finals here today between NOOBPANZER and Fourth Fence. Ben, it's the last chance for these guys here in Season 48. What should we be expecting?
We should be expecting a super tense game. Both these teams, obviously, there's a lot on the line. There's a spot in a grand final up against Mandem later on tonight on the line. Neither of these teams want to be going home with that bronze medal. And yeah, these two teams, they trade a map earlier on in the season. They're super well matched. And yeah, the last chance saloon for these two.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really excited for it. We've been chatting about it before the game. It's definitely looking to be an interesting one in general, and a great matchup between these guys, because I actually think they've got similar power points, right? Maybe not necessarily the exact same style, but I think we highlighted the fact that both their soldiers and their scouts, they are forces to be reckoned with, right, Ben?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start over on the NOOBPANZER side, right? Because we've got some recent evidence over to us that Voxy getting the MVP award over in Dortmund at the Uberfest LAN. Great performance from the entire team. Of course, Yuji wasn't with them there. They had Ghazi instead. They've sort of been switching around on and off on that flank scout, but yeah, Voxy had an absolute mega performance. It was a deserving MVP winner.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Voxy as a whole. This NOOBPANZER team has looked super fun to watch and just play their game. They are a little bit of a slower team compared to some of the other teams we have here in Prem this season, but they really understand the game. They do it methodically, and I mean, with German precision from Voxy, you love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess we'll go over to the side. Fourth Fence, it's their map pick first up. We're going to be starting out on Snake Wars. I think it was actually going live. Fourth Fence are going to be in their regular colour of blue on their map pick. And as just about to say, they had a great win yesterday on just this exact map against Skedders. They're looking to repeat their successes as we roll out for this first mid-fight.
Yeah, man, already getting their Deli in position and looking to lay down some damage early on in this fight. Keep an eye on where those soldiers go. They are going to be the core of this. No one goes into the kitchen just yet.
Yeah, going to be a bit of a spam war, a bit of a slow burn. See who lands that stray rocket, see who lands that stray sticky. That's perhaps something that these soldiers can jump off. You can see them sort of eyeing, they're waiting for any damage to be called, any position to be taken. And Demo with the first jump up onto the very high point on top of this map, but it's forced away quite quickly as NOOBPANZER, they're sitting solid.
Yeah, good damage onto some of these scouts does mean that NOOBPANZER are starting to really gain that positioning. Keep an eye on this high ground, however. They will start to push back out. Fourth Fence do not want to lose too much. Those soldiers, and Deli gets very low, and the first one to fall is Cubby here. This is big for NOOBPANZER.
Hugo
massive, they get so much, and Mula goes down. That is massive, as you say, and the demo was absolutely brilliant as well, pumping out that damage alongside Hugo.
Yeah, that combination strike of GG Hugo there, landing absolute nukes over towards the Sora. Again, there's a nice little air shot in the midst of things as well from Hugo on that mid. Great mid for these explosive classes. And that's the thing with these slow burn mids. If things start going slightly wrong, one scout falls and the entire house of cards just crumbles over on Fourth Fence's side.
Yeah, we were highlighting both Hugo and Ryan. Ryan, being that playmaker, died early on in the fight for NOOBPANZER, but Hugo's the one to really land that damage. And as you pointed out, just went huge in that mid-fight right there.
Yeah, well, the Ubercharger comes in now. Gun dealt with already. It's a great opportunity to get around on the board. Early doors for NOOBPANZER, but they're actually losing their medic to sticky traps on the point from Deli. This is going to get a lot harder now. There's player captain coming through as the two soldiers, Brugman and Demul, landing in on the point. Mula actually going to have to come in and block as well. Deli, Demul, last two alive. There's not much help to go around, and Deli taken down. They finally make it work with no medic.
Oh, Fourth Fence almost found that really solid defense from them to pretty much deny so much for so long. But as you say, NOOBPANZER had such an advantage that Uber didn't go perfectly for them, yes, but they found a lot off the back of it. And because there was nothing for Mula, couldn't really land in the way they wanted to, and Fourth Fence just didn't have the resources to make it happen at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a little bit funny thing I noticed that Hugo actually went heavy just for a moment in the spawn, was like got the sandwich out, was like pretending in case there was a spy in the enemy team. I'm wondering if Fourth Fence have noticed that, because you sort of play very differently. You have to be a bit more careful if it's a heavy potentially on the field. But it was all the ruse, it was all just a bait. Brugman actually going to fall just some stickies early doors again.
Yeah, really nice play from GG to catch that there. They do lose Voxy, however. It does mean NOOBPANZER have to be very careful about the remaining soldier of Demul, who is low now. Will have to kind of chill out a little bit more. Look at that scout going forward. GG takes so much damage. don't manage to actually kill that scout who slips on behind. Piggles really worried about it, starting to back off. NOOBPANZER playing slow and steady as they are wont to do.
Yeah, Ryan going to try and go for something here on the back lines in a fight with Brugman. It'd be really important kill if he can get it, and actually does get the kill. So Ryan is now a constant nuisance all the way in behind. Going to actually just bomb onto point and try and go for something massive. I'm not quite sure this is going to get too much. One rocket onto Moolah is something, but there's all the scouts in the world looking at that. It's worth a try. I respect it, but maybe a little bit bold from Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that Ryan is so happy to pull the trigger and be really decisive in these fights. Sometimes it doesn't work out, that's fine. What we're really looking for are the exciting times when it does, when they get that epic, when they take down someone important and really dictate the flow of this fight. So keep an eye on them and what they're up to.
Yeah, but now things are going to have to slow down to a little bit of a grind now as Moolah, Piggles both sat at 100% Uber. We're sort of in a typical sort of snake second stalemate. Bit of a pressure coming from lower with the demo man. Soldiers spamming in through Saw. That'll be D-Mule and Brugman. But it's all about, can they land a stray bit of damage? Can they land something worth bombing off? Can they pressure people out of position well enough? Brugman going to bomb in onto GG, but not going to land anything more.
Yeah, they're not really committing towards anything here. Deli wants to try and get some damage, but they back out. They don't lose any of those players for now. Uber's on both sides. I'd be interested to see if there's any sort of scent of off-classing. We were talking about before that Hugie does like playing on that sniper. Deli gets a little damage here, but I'd be interested to see if they bring it out here exactly.
But yeah, with the trade coming across point, I'm not quite sure that's what they're looking for. Nevo running in so aggressively there in towards Piggles. Ubercharge is fading at roughly the same time for both of these two teams. These two soldiers on the French side putting so high, landing big damage onto the combo. GG already taken down so many low red health bars on this low ground behind the point. GG Piggles both falling, massive advantage from Moolah, and Forfence, they might just be back in the game.
Yeah, really nicely done by Forfence. Backpedaling there, make sure they don't lose Muller in this exchange. And as you said, NOOBPANZER absolutely on the back foot now for about, well, probably about 60, 70 I think 60 about. NOOBPANZER are really going to be racking their brains as to how they're going to defend this. Obviously, they go over onto the NG, and they're just setting up to try and make it happen. Hugie is over on that sniper. If they can get a pick here, that would be huge, but Muller's not stupid enough to expose themselves to that side.
Yeah, it's a rough one. They have got a crit screeg up on Piggles, which you've got to sort of keep an eye on. Just in the corner of our eyes, just see if there's a chance of that crit screeg coming up. It's about 50%. There is a world where a heavy could come up with it in the post fight, but that's not where the eyes are turned now. The eyes are turned on Shutter as Nevo, Deli both charging in.
Sentry gun sticking off the right-hand side as they move over to pressure that left. The heavy is trying to deny. Will be swinging out that left-hand side to provide some support here. Lots of players on the point. They need to get on, but they just can't do it. Forfence strike right back.
That's the risk of going with these crits, right? They ran Voxy all the way back to spawn to come out in a heavy, but heavy is the slowest class in the entire game. It has to waddle all the way out to the point, and Forfence know this. They just stack the point, get the round over and done with. Their back level.
Yeah, nicely done by Forfence. I was a little worried that NOOBPANZER would slow this game down to a halt, but loved the fact that they played a little bit more forward, actually caught a player early on there, and managed to capitalize upon it well, which can be difficult sometimes when the trade did come back through to take down, I believe, a scout.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with these mids, because last time it was a bit of a turn of pace, early damage coming in from the NOOBPANZER side, and again, Nevo taking so weak up on top.
I was really worried for a second there. GG took a lot of damage. If a stray rocket had landed, that would have been huge. D-Mule managed to survive, is now behind the rest of NOOBPANZER. Going to be a little bit worried as Brugman is also in a position to maybe flank. You can see that they're very worried. They know as well that there's a player behind, but look at that! Oh, the Deli going massive, taking down GG, and the rest is a really nice set of plays from QB to keep that dream alive, to keep NOOBPANZER away, and they're going to have to beat a hasty retreat to really get out of this one.
Yeah, but in the meantime, all three explosive classes on NOOBPANZER just collapsed onto Moolah. There's some great directs coming in. Moolah taken down at 95% Uber, and now the repush can come in. The two scouts, the medic, they want to fight this. They do not want to give up too much ground for free here. Piggles, the two scouts, they are ready to fight.
Yeah, they don't want to have to use Uber if they don't have to, but it might come out soon. A lot of players very deep in here. They already lose Hugie, but there's going to be Foxy with the Uber, pushes forward, has that backup as well, and they do manage to force them out. Forfence don't lose a lot. They lost D-Mule, but the rest of them can start to pressure back in towards if they find an opening here. But the Stickies are going hard, almost takes down. Deli does fall. That's big from Ryan yet again for NOOBPANZER. And QB and the rest of the gang are going to have to run away here.
Yeah, and the thing is, yes, it is advantage for Moolah, but Moolah is still another 20 or so seconds away from getting an uber charge up of his own, so all this free ground has to be conceded. Kills onto Demoman and the Pocket Scout, like, you can't just sit and hold on that, you have to leave. And Moolah knows that all the way back to spot 4. Fens, they're sat on last now. There's nothing they can do, they were down so many players. They've just got to chill.
Yeah, and this is exactly where NOOBPANZER want to be. They want to be setting up for this last push. Sure, there's Newton add. Again, I would like to highlight that we could see a sniper coming through, would be shocked by that. But at the same time, NOOBPANZER can try and find an advantage with their soldiers, who, as of yet, haven't found anything, but that won't stop Ryan from trying.
Yeah, it's a nice little speed shot bomb, and especially before the gun's getting built. I like the initiative there. Just, you know, that bomb gets basically impossible to pull off when there's a gun there. But yeah, Moolah is playing so safe all the way back behind the truck. It's almost unenforceable by a single soldier there. And now with the gun up, we've been here before. We've all seen the Snake Water last stalemate. We could be here for quite a while. As we'll see what NOOBPANZER decide to try and cook up. Soldier stacks can work, but that gun is just so hard to get past. They're going to decide to go for Huge on Sniper instead.
I do like that. While we kind of have a little bit of a breather for a second while the sniper gets set up and tries to find and work their angles, I'd like to kind of highlight to you guys at home, reminder what this is playing for. This is playing for that grand final, for a chance to go up against Mandem, who have looked dominant so far this season. And NOOBPANZER, they definitely want to strike back, and 4Fence want to show why France is one of the best countries in TF2 for a long time. Maybe not always been the exact best, but always been up at the top, competing at such a high level. QB also on the sniper, looking to try and contest.
Yeah, well, France did win Nations Cup this year, of course, winning the curse against Nevo. Actually, Huge wins out the shot though against Nevo, and now with no sniper, no engineer, excuse me, this gun becomes a lot easier to spam down. Already taken a ton of damage. That's to the single-digit HP. Surely Hugo able to land at the finishing bit of damage as Ryan bombs in, gets the force out. Great coordination there. The soldier spammed the sniper shot, and then the bomb in onto Moolah. Force comes through. NOOBPANZER, they've got advantage.
Yeah, and they know it. They can smell the blood in the water. They've got loads of time to work with, at least until, you know, well, at least like, you know, 20, 30 seconds, well, 20 seconds-ish, if they are going to try and pull on top of that. They should be looking to do so. They have swapped off the sniper, importantly here, so that's what they've used their time to do. They know exactly where they want to be pushing here. You can see some peeks around on different angles, but it's going to be that right-hand side. It's going to be that focus towards denying that right-hand spawn, and then moving over to the left and cutting it out. You can see now that they're trying to push on through. GG has locked off the left-hand side, is trying to provide a little bit of space, but Voxy's already gone. Hugo's already gone. This is huge for 4Fence. This is exactly what they wanted. NOOBPANZER, they fall back.
Yeah, the uber charge, like you see, they went for the right spawn, there was nobody home, and they went to the left spawn, and there was still nobody home because they'd all rotated to the other side, and 4Fence, they collapsed onto the point so well. Ryan gonna bomb in, bit hopeful, trying to get in onto that medic, but Moolah so safe behind the entire army of players, 7 times for a moment there on the cap on this second point as 4Fence, they can roll forward. Big advantage. Hugo is up on a sniper in forward spawn. Could be a bit of a nuisance for anyone pushing in, and Moolah might be caught in the sidelines in a second if they decides to step across. It's dangerous times.
Oh, gets caught with the rocket! Hugo wasn't just a danger, was in danger. Beautifully done by 4Fence, and after, well, some fancy feet in the spawn, they push back out, they've taken the mid, and now they're looking towards pushing into second, maybe even last. Player stuck in there, might not. No, they do. Oh, they take down Brugman. That's a really nice frag for Hugie to find, and that does mean that NOOBPANZER are going to stem the bleeding for now.
Yeah, it's a really important kill, because if Brugman goes 1 for 1 there with I believe it was Ryan who was fighting in Cheese, then there's maybe a world where they can send that second soldier and they can maybe start pressing in through Saw. But as it stands, we're back to a position we were in, I don't know, 5 minutes or so ago on this red second point. 4Fence, having just held their own last, have managed to push the advantage forward. But you can only go so far. Pickles will be getting this supercharge eventually, and Pickles has it up now, so they can sit tight. Last time it was like a bit of an uber trade. They just came in and the soldiers beat collapsed. I'm sure that Pickles and the rest of NOOBPANZER will be wise to something like that happening again, and will be better prepared. But we'll see from 4Fence. Are they going to go for what worked before, or do they have more in their strap book?
Yeah, I like that NOOBPANZER are a little bit tighter on this lower position this time. Last time, Nevo was out and about, clearing off the stickies, running around on the grass. Wherever he wanted to go, he was completely safe to do so. But this time, they put a lot of pressure on. They're requiring Deli to push forward to get any space of any sort. Nevo finally can step out, but it's not leading to the same kind of success we saw before.
Yeah, absolutely as well. When it's rotating so much tension to lower, you can just sort of, I don't know, you can balance it out on your but actually Timo though gonna bomb in and gets good attempt. Gets blasted into the floor though.
up. That was almost something nice there from Delhi. But full fence, again, falling back, keeping an eye on those Ubers, knowing exactly where they want to go. They are a player down. They don't want to overextend anything. We were saying before that NOOBPANZER are a team who are quite slow and methodical. That doesn't mean that full fence aren't ones who are happy to play that slower style as well. Both of these teams opted into maps like Snakewater that we're seeing, like Gullywash, like Granny, not Granny, Granary, where they're going to go for that. Look at this aggression though. This is going to try and take some of that sword, but they do fall back and hand it back on over. But as I was saying, both these teams happy to play the slow, grindy game.
Yeah, I do like that though, but NOOBPANZER just tried is they tried to just burst a ton of players into swords, try and be a bit of damage, but people are going to be in.
Oh my!
So close up to Pickles, what a great attempt on the sack.
Again, I want to highlight that we were talking about both these teams when we were saying these soldiers are scary. Brugman and D-Mule have been absolutely fantastic this season. I mean, D-Mule's been around forever, and you can see some of that veteran play and kind of looking for that opening. Almost, as you said, takes down Pickles. And almost gave themselves the opportunity to roll NOOBPANZER right on back.
Yeah, it's a tough one. The single soldier out of window, I guess you just got to have enough distraction for it. And yeah, had time for one rocket, but the cleanup crew was there from NOOBPANZER. They're all too aware of the tricks. And yeah, only one rocket is able to come out of the rocket launcher, and the Pickles will live on to fight another day. But it's scary times. It's a tough place to live. Like behind these logs, you can't really see too much of the time. You're relying a lot on your calls, a lot on your scouts, and I don't know, when you've got scouts like Yuji and Voxy, it's kind of easy to trust them, but it still can be a little bit scary at times. It's Brugman going to try and take a bit of space over towards Cheeseman and shut down.
Nicely done. NOOBPANZER again, kind of just chilling out here, making sure they don't have to commit too hard. This is Snakewater after all, a map where pushing out can be your biggest mistake, and neither team really wants to make a mistake, especially under such pressure that they're in right now here in the lower bracket finals. As we said, it's do or die time for this season.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing we saw in the LAN Grand Final, right? It's the first two maps of that Grand Final at Uberfest were so slow. Both teams just scared to make that mistake and just wanting to slow grind out all the advantages, take forever in these stalemates, not risk anything, not push out sillily in strangers in the like not too advantageous situations, and that's kind of what we're seeing now. NOOBPANZER not deciding to go for any sort of counter sack off of one pick advantage. Brugman going to just waddle in onto GG and actually just a good chunk of damage over towards the down, but is taken down. In trade for Voxy, there's potential to come back in. No, never mind. The fadeaway rocket onto D-Mule, and that is going to stun the push completely.
Yeah, I don't think the two soldiers, the single, like the soldier difference is really going to make a big difference here. Trying to push into two scouts and a demo still makes this kind of unmanageable for NOOBPANZER. They are just going to chill out. But time is on their side. They're happy to reset to the mid here. They don't have an Uber advantage, so no reason to try and make anything happen. So they're happy to just hold and hold and hold and hold. Now, time is ticking away. We are under half of the allotted time left. But both these teams very happy, very comfortable in this position.
Yeah, we might be seeing a trade soon because it's down to 30 seconds on the round time, and it was a trade that worked out really well for Forfeits last time. So this time it's going to be sword rather than grass where it comes in from Mula. Has taken a good bit of spam early on, and so has Nevo. The Ubercharge forced out finally. D-Mule in onto the Medical Pickles, gets one rocket, is going to actually trade out one for one. Hugie going down. Mula going to be weak in this post Uber. It's all about these post bombs, all about this pressure coming across now. QB in onto Ryan, who's deleted down to the floor, does somehow live on a slither of HP. 2 seconds left. Someone has to stand for this cap if Forfeits want to keep the round alive, and they do, and Delhi hits a big pipe onto Ryan, and Forfeits, they just fight on.
Yeah, they just keep on
Pickles
going.
Down.
Oh, yeah, catches them on the edge, and D-Mule, the veteran status, allowing them to hold through on this one. And look at that, Med still alive. Huge Uberage here. Oh, GG's down. This is absolutely disastrous for NOOBPANZER. This is what they were looking for. Hubie squares that one away, and you can see remaining soldier Orion is trying to contest, but poor Fence, they box him out.
What's so funny about this, right, is that there's twice that we've been sat in the exact stalemate with Forfeits holding mid, NOOBPANZER holding their own second. The twice that they've got out of it is basically just by walking in and taking a trade. Yeah. We had 4.5 minutes and sat there trying to send in like soldier sacks as pressure, and it just works when they send in the trade. Like next time you think they just, I don't know, we just don't bother stalemating, we'll just take an Uber trade and win the post fight. Like at that point, why go through the extra steps?
Yeah, I'm really loving it for Full Fence. They have been playing really sensibly around keeping their soldiers alive, making sure that they're ready to catch something right after that Uber is gone. They know it's the exact moment where NOOBPANZER are open, where Pickles is open to that threat, and completely denying it away in those post-Ubers is beautifully done. But Delhi wants to play more aggressive this time, wanted to set the pace for their team, but couldn't find quite enough. Player through Kitchen. Interesting to see if NOOBPANZER are going to fire on that one. Hugo trying to land some of that damage as Ryan is under a lot of pressure now. Might get caught here. And on a low, it's over on 70. Will survive, but a lot of damage going to Hugie as well. Slower mid yet again for both these teams. But GG gets center flying. Again, the soldiers try and come on in to find something else, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's the scouts who reap the reward. Hugie doing exactly what they need to do. And for Fence, not able to find that advantage this time.
Yeah, there's potential for a chase. There's no 2 players down. It's been Ryan moving in onto the bridge. One look, actually gets blasted into the skybox. Nevo there. Moolah gets rocked by the scout. Oh my dear, that was just about when the Uber charge got to 100%. I thought Moolah was going to live for a moment there, but the damage is in. Pickles' massive advantage. Moolah caught in the crossfires on that bridge. It's such a dangerous place to retreat from. And NOOBPANZER, they roll on.
We were highlighting, right, just how good Ryan is. Yeah, obviously the kill came to Voxy. Voxy went for that dive as well. Great communication from the team. And NOOBPANZER absolutely on the same page. But Ryan's the one to go behind, to get the catch, to get the play. And honestly, the playmaking ability from this guy is absolutely freaking astounding.
It's so good, but the thing is, last time they were in this position, this is not round over at this point.
True.
NOOBPANZER fell last time. This time they're going to walk in from the far left. They're going to get as much space as they can without having to use the Uber charge. They use it so late. They've taken so much ground already before using. And with Sticky's actually catching Voxy, maybe this isn't all what it's cracked up to be. One taken down, GG in the Skybox too. They might be trying to salvage here onto Moolah because they're just all leaving. What on earth is going on with this last push?
That was disastrous. This time, they head over to that right side to try and catch players, as we talked about, but they really don't make it happen. The drop on Voxy there does mean that they fall, and from that, NOOBPANZER don't have the space, they don't have the control to really make it happen. Speaking about space, you see right there that Nevo was just happy to jump forward, take back that second, and for Fence are not going to look at this situation lightly. They are going to push this all the way. They've got a little bit of ad coming through here, about 30-ish%. They want to make good usage of it, and Nevo goes straight for it. However, there's no one to try and catch here other than this scout, and it's really happening quite as nicely as they'd like. They do get 2 players. That was the Uber used, and Pickles, importantly, survives.
Yeah, they're going to have to back out even further than NOOBPANZER as well. Whether they get these forward spawns in on Hugie and Ryan, I think they might just be a little bit too slow with getting these spawners. But yeah, it was a super early force. The spam was so good towards Saw from NOOBPANZER, and yes, these spawns are denied, and that just buys even more time. Moolah at 50% already. We're at the stage now, it could turn into a flip-flop across this midpoint until perhaps a medic gets caught, perhaps a medic drops past, they just take too long and get the charge to stabilize, but that's not going to take too long at all from NOOBPANZER. They are in already.
Yeah, nice catch. Does take down D-Mule, but again, sensibly, for Fence, they backpedal. They see the Uber coming. They know that flip-flop is coming. They keep Moolah alive, and look at that. The Uber is ready to rock, and once D-Mule is back up, they're going to use this one. In fact, they're going to go a little early here. They know D-Mule will be here in just a second over on that soldier, and hopefully, they don't have to use it as early as we saw from NOOBPANZER this time. If Moolah can get further out, if they can use this Uber in a slightly further forward position, they might be able to find more, but they drop Nevo. The Uber goes forward, but it doesn't manage to find anything just yet. It's too slow, it's too late, and all these Ubers being squandered here by both teams because of the positioning, because of the play. They catch the medic nearly there. I really thought that was going through, but Hugie coming up massive yet again.
That was so good from Hugie and from Pickles as well to not fall in that situation. But now, this is the danger. If you get an Uber charge like that, not only did they not get the kill on the medic, not only did they not get any frags, they also didn't cap mid. So second point already fallen, and again, back on to the last point. They need to get back in this game. There's 8 minutes left. How many more chances do you get at pushing last with full Uber add on Snakewater? Soldier already taken down. Demo gonna try and waddle in, try and do some damage. Nevo up on the heavy too. Plenty of cap time coming through. And actually the cap just cannot be stopped. Ryan just hiding, tucked away in the corner. NOOBPANZER, 3rd time of asking, but they do eventually convert a full ad push.
Even Stevens, honestly, great to see. You know, sometimes when you're coming into a Snakewater, you're here for a snooze fest. And even when these guys, they've been sitting back, chillaxing, and not really pushing out on those stalemates, they've still been looking for opportunities, as we've seen from Fence and the way they pushed through, and NOOBPANZER and the way they look for these picks with Ryan and the like. It's been great to see, and I'm so glad that this is at 2-2 right now. They are still playing all the marbles in this first map here, and I think it's just a sign of things to come in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. As we'll see what comes up on this 5th mid fight at this point now. It'll be a little bit of a spam game once more. No one going for anything too crazy aggressive with this early double bomb, because that's perhaps a bit too far. Demo though going to bomb in onto GG. Really nice arrow from Pickles there to keep the demo alive. And another one, Demo going to bomb in though now, and just getting completely kited by the entire NOOBPANZER team. Brugman though going to come in finally and get the kill in onto Pickles. GG falling 2. There's only 3 alive on either side, but all importantly, Moolah is still up. There's still buffs, there's still heals to go around. There's going to be an Uber charge too to join that in just a moment.
Yeah, really nicely done. I was a little bit worried for the side of NOOBPANZER because they lost those scouts early. Really nice catch from Demule and Brugman to be able to turn that one away, but they just hold it. They do well. They manage to convert into that mid, and as a result, Forfence, yeah, they take that mid again. They're going to be pushing towards second. We've seen how good they are at pushing this second. If they commit towards, especially with only a Kritzkrieg, and they have the Uber advantage now, like, this is going to be massive. Keep an eye on Pickles, though. It's already at 70%, and it's definitely going to be the crux of if NOOBPANZER can catch them after this one goes awry. They do have a backup. They're not contesting that at all.
Yeah, it's just a strange choice, I guess, the Kritzkrieg. Like, you can't know exactly how fast. Maybe there would have been a world where a stock Uber would also have built, but the Kritz has definitely built, and the Kritz is going to be ready to be deployed as soon as Uber charge fades. Pressure onto the point already. Hugo, actually so much point pressure coming in. The crit heavy though, the laser beams are out, and the laser beams get 3 across this point. There's Demo, last one alive, to try and waddle in, try and get onto this point, but not going to secure it. Never mind. Forget what I was saying. The Kritz is beautiful from Pickles.
You know, I'm loving it. I'm really feeling like this is the season of the heavy. At LAN, we saw some absolutely gorgeous heavy play. Here, we saw the Kritz heavy just completely pick apart Forfence, and I'm absolutely here for it. NOOBPANZER, they move back to second, as you say. They're looking towards that mid again. They have swapped over, importantly, onto that Uber. Good shots coming in, and they do manage to take down GG, but the med is alive for now.
Yeah, so much space on this grass that have been taken by Forfence, but Ryan all the way in behind doing massive damage. Gets 1, gets 2, maybe going to get the 3rd to QB as well. No, that's slightly too much to ask. But Ryan taking down basically all of the combo there in behind. Moolah on an 11-second respawn time. This is going to be not far off 100% advantage by the time that Moolah spawns in. So much cap time as well coming through on mid. No, there's probably not potential to deny, but there's definitely going to be a mad advantage.
It's actually crazy to me how much Ryan finds these advantages, finds these opportunities. And I think, honestly, it's a big part of why we see Forfence running away a lot of the time, backpedaling, because they're worried. Ryan is looking for these opportunities, always trying to delve further to try and find an opportunity to add onto the role. And I think especially here on Snakewater, that is pivotal for how they're playing the game.
Yeah, of course. There's a sniper up to try and be a bit of a nuisance for this push in. Pickles has managed to dodge all these sniper satellites so far. No shots have landed as of yet. And second point getting capped up, but there's still about a 20 or 30 ad here from Pickles, so they can go on this. There is definitely time to go for it, and go for it they will. In through the far right, through the shutter. Cap time going to be coming through in a moment. 1 second has come through. Hugo flying into the sky, but Uber charge ready on the blue side. Moolah comes in. The Kritz is there. The Uber charge is there for QB. The heavy Ubered is completely unbeatable as everyone now. It has to be treated back out. It was a good attempt, but that the Uber charge was just slightly too close.
Importantly, Pickles does survive this time. NOOBPANZER don't overextend. Keep an eye on these soldiers, though. One's already far back here. You could even look for more. Belly looking for an opportunity to lay down the law as well as NOOBPANZER. They step 2. They're sitting in the grass. They manage to fall away here. Nevo manages to deny. Well, those soldiers manage to take away the scouts as well. This is big, as you say. Ryan jumps in, but to no avail this time. NOOBPANZER not able to leverage that soldier quite as they would like to, but they'll leverage their own. Brugman jumps in, takes down GG. NOOBPANZER, they are running.
Again, they've only got like 3 players up at the moment. Potential, yeah, 3 forward spawns getting denied too. There's so much space to be taken. There is a sniper to contend with in this forward spawn, but I believe QB has spotted this out already. The rest of the team all running around from this. Brugman gonna press his face into this doorway, make it so difficult for the sniper to get onto anything. Uber charge, of course, still there from Pickles, right? This is not like full-on disaster stations for NOOBPANZER. There's 3 minutes left. They can hang on. It's going to be into an even Uber's last hold, but they get so much ground. It's almost a coast-to-coast there from Forfence. They're just so quick to turn the pace, but they get this slight advantage. They're just flying across the map.
Yeah, I mean, as we said before, that's so pivotal here on Snakewater, a map where getting those advantages really can like, you kind of have to, in a lot of ways, roll towards last or have Uber add into last. Like, you have to find something to allow you to actually crack through here. Otherwise, it can be so impenetrable. Luckily, we've seen these teams both be able to do it. Deli gets caught, that nice snipe coming through from Fuji, but Team goes flying. That is huge from NOOBPANZER. They completely rout that one. However, Mula stays alive, still has that Uber. Might have to use it here, though. If those soldiers go deep, they should have to give up second here. They have to be worried as those rockets start to come through.
Hugo
behind, takes him down. And that's big. This is the chance that they were looking for. NOOBPANZER must go now. They need to take this mid. They need to run through. Time is ticking. Only 2 minutes on the clock.
There's 2 minutes, and also there's the other timer, which is Mula's Uber charge. Of course, Mula getting caught so late on that fight is going to be a late spawner, so there is going to be a lot of advantage in that regard. But already we see Hugo being actually getting the kill onto QB in the spawn as well. It's so big, and now they can keep walking again. It's still like 90 ad for NOOBPANZER. They can keep walking. There's no reason for the tank to stop.
No, there isn't. They're going to have to backpedal here massively. You already see those soldiers jumping on in. Mula moving towards the back, over on about 30 to 40% here. If they can build in time, this is going to be pivotal. However, I don't think there's enough time on the clock. No off crosses, no nothing. NOOBPANZER are set. They are ready to go. GG's in position, looking for that sticky to jump forward. They're already deep on this position. The Uber is about to expire, however. Mula's nowhere close, though. They didn't lose a lot. They lost a sentry. Can they stick towards it? They lose a lot of players. They lose both of their soldiers, but for Fence, they're still alive. They still know! NOOBPANZER just stick it, and they couldn't get anywhere near.
That was honestly just completely different to every other Uber ad push we've seen from NOOBPANZER so far. Their recollapse in the post-Uber was so good behind the truck. As soon as the Uber charge fades and as soon as Forfence decides, you know, we're going to do our recommitment towards the point, everyone was there in the truck. There was soldiers landing and there was stickies everywhere. There was still cap time coming through. It was great damage in that post fight, and there's 35 seconds left. This is game over. This is map number 1. Going the way of NOOBPANZER, 1 foot in the door for that rematch against Mandem already. And yes, there is still 2 more maps potentially to play in this series, but hitting your opponent's map pick, it must feel so good.
Yeah, no, it's really nice for NOOBPANZER to find here. And off the back of, again, brilliant ability to just push through, find these opportunities, and just go hunting. D-Mule behind, looking for a little bit of hunting their own. Will get the med down. Unfortunately, it's too little too late. And Forfence, as you said, not able to pick up their map pick and in a very dangerous spot now here in the lower bracket finals.
Yeah, it must feel rough, right, for Forfence. Like, literally 3 minutes ago, they were started even Ubers on NOOBPANZER's last point. And they decide, you know, we're going to go for some super aggressive, like, 3-man stack, I believe it was. And to be fair, QB was so close to getting onto Piggles. Like, ran all the way through far left and got, like, 2, like, mid-range scattergun shots over onto the medic. But that was all that was found. And yeah, just losing too many players. And as we've mentioned time and time again, this soldier duo, Ryan and Hugo, they have done mega work. Like, there it was Hugo going in behind, getting those kills, cutting off the escape routes. Like, if you're trying to escape and there's a soldier just in the way, like, you're dead. Like, that, it's game over at that point. And they've done such a great job of that so far on NOOBPANZER, and yeah, well played to them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, this is the kind of plays we saw from NOOBPANZER at LAN. Do you feel like that kind of that excitement, that no, I don't want to quite go as far as to say ego, but you know, that mentality coming off the back of a win at LAN, do you feel like it's pushing them forwards and charging them up for a win here in season 48? Do you think they could take down Mandem maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe not that far. Maybe not that far.
No, it's what they say, right? Because like when they're on, what they've proven with their thing on LAN is when like the pressure is on and it's the all pressure game, they can turn up and they can win and they can play some phenomenal TF2. Their TF2 they played in that grand final was fantastic.
Beautiful.
They had some great plays. It was so great to watch. And yeah, the game yesterday was against Mandem, but like, I don't know, Mandem they've got some known chokers on that team, you know, and upper bracket final, it's something. Grand final is a whole new kettle of fish for Mandem. So I don't know, like, if NOOBPANZER go all the way, maybe they're thinking about that, but you can't like win a LAN and then not have a rush of confidence afterwards, right?
Oh,
like it must be great. And like you say, these online games, like, you know, it's nothing compared to what they were doing just a week ago. Like, there's no crowd screaming, there's no people cheering and jumping around. You can't like feel the floor rumbling when a round comes through, right? Like, it's very different, right? And when you're offline, you have all that pressure relieved, and so it must feel weird. But now I think they're getting back into the swing of online TF2. It's been a joy to watch.
No, it really has. Honestly, we've been talking about NOOBPANZER, how great they're doing. I've been really excited to watch Forfence as a team. I think they've been a really good and cohesive unit to watch. And I've been loving, in particular, watching their scout, Nevo. Got to see them play at LAN as well. Really fun guy, and honestly, an absolute delight to see in the server. I'm looking forward to seeing Forfence strike back here. I believe they have it in them. I think Gully is our next map. I think they have the players, they have the temperance, they have the patience to really make this happen. And I think Gully is a map which really kind of can be controlled by teams who have that experience. And I think that's what Forfence have in spades. They have a lot of experience, a lot of cooler heads on that team. And I'm excited to see that. What do you think that a win for Forfence on Gully would look like? What kind of things are we looking for them to succeed on for them to pick up the map?
Yeah, it must be great for Forfence in this scenario because NOOBPANZER lost Gully yesterday, so you can watch that map, watch what didn't work, and you can sort of play off that. See, what Mandem were doing a lot is in these second stalemates, they had great like success with getting plays in behind into enemy lobby, and when you're sort of dragging the defense around, you've got like, it's all eyes on the flank in those sort of stalemates because like I don't know, Gully Wash last is weird, but like a lot of the game is spent on that mid-second stalemate. It's kind of odd in that regard. And the flank of Mandem, of course, is phenomenal. And I think always we're looking at like we've got eyes over onto Cuban Brugman here, who are like potential candidates for doing that. And it's a weak spot for a defense, and I think if you can get in and do that, but I don't know. Like Gully is another demo map, right? So Delhi as well. He's maybe got eyeballs on him. There's lots of tight choke points, but there's the thing is with Gully Wash, right? Is that there's plenty of ways you can win it, and you know they lost it yesterday, NOOBPANZER.
They did. They certainly are valuable. Even coming off of that rejuvenating LAN win, and I think Forfence have the ability to really catch them here for the reasons I stated before. I think the soldiers for Forfence are really good at holding out and kind of providing that damage that can lead to the demo to have a lot of success to catch them. And I think sometimes, right, I was talking about Ryan. I'm saying, hey, I love Ryan. I love the fact that he's so decisive, so brilliant at making those plays. But there are times when Ryan jumps forward and dies. I mean, you can't have a 100% win hit rate on these plays. Otherwise, Ryan would be the best player in TF2. But that might be more problematic here. If you make the wrong jump forward, I think Forfence could really look to leverage that to kind of push a little bit more. I think especially the stalemate between second and mid is even more volatile than we saw on Snakewater. And I think Forfence could really find success coming off the back of that. As you said, their flank can be effective. And I think that's what we're really looking to Forfence to succeed on while not losing too much. Making sure they don't hemorrhage anything and then looking to kind of counterplay on what NOOBPANZER are doing.
Yeah, the other thing I look at from Forfence, I sort of jokingly mentioned it in the middle of the game on Snakewater, but like their post Ubers and after like that when they just take a trade into second, for example, like their post Ubers were amazing. They were just getting all the positioning in these post Ubers. They weren't flashing too much. They had great Ubers, and then their recollapses with their soldiers with their demo was so like they were great. Like they won 2 rounds off it. The 2 rounds they got were off taking trades on second and then just walking over and steamrolling it from there. So on a map like Gully Wars, you can still do that into second point, but like just it shows it shows more than like a particularly map specific thing. It just shows you've got the coordination down to another level, and you've got the timings down to another level, and you've got like D-Mule on your team. D-Mule's been playing since the dawn of time. Like, you know, it just knows everything about this game. So you've got a voice like that in the server. I think it makes a big difference.
Yeah. No, it really does. I mean, I think both of these teams have pretty like solid voices. I mean, I think the Forfence team, from what I've heard, is a very good team at communicating. Helps when you're all speaking the same language, and it's all your native language as well. So I love that about Forfence. You know, seeing these national teams kind of come through. National teams, like, you know, a team obviously made up all from one nation. It is really fun to see what come through. And as we said, Voxy on NOOBPANZER is brilliant at kind of leading that team forward. So it definitely a great kind of, you know, basically like a swatch of maps to see exactly what these guys are really capable of. As we said, the Snakewater. Now we've got the Gully. And I'm really, really hoping we get over to the Granary. I think you were talking about the Granary in pre-game and saying how interesting this looks for Forfence.
Well, yeah, because at LAN, Skedda were the best team on Granary. Yes, they lost it in the final in like super, super close circumstances, but then like they bastard Pepper Speeds about in it twice. They were beating everyone else on it. And then we come online And yesterday, 4Fens just casually 5-0 them. Like, I'm pretty sure it was also Skedda's map pick as well. Just like 5-0ing your opponents on their map pick is, you know, if you've got a team that can do that and has the mental for it, it's great. And I think for 4Fens as well, they know they're out of it. They were in this situation just yesterday. They lost their first map. I think they also lost that one 3-2 as well on process yesterday against Skedda, and they bounced back. They've obviously got they've got great mental, and there's some very skilled players, but I think I'm still slightly leaning over towards NOOBPANZER taking this in a 2-0, but I'd love it to go over to Granary if we did. But we're ready. Map number 2, do or die for 4Fens. They have to win this one to stay in the season. But for NOOBPANZER, there's a rematch against Bandem later on tonight if they can convert it here over on Gullywash.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can. And as I said, I'm hoping for that game 3. I'm hoping for that Granary. Nice sticky goes in, but again, kind of a slower start. I was about to say to this, as I said, Ryan goes aggressive, gets cut off. However, the same is true for Demul here, and you can see that NOOBPANZER scouts are pushing forward. Trades back and forth, neither team ceding ground. Going to be an advantage in terms of having that scout available. Does mean that they, as the 2 scouts, does mean that their med is really safe here. And I really like this for 4Fens.
Yeah, it's possible they can potentially try and walk it across, see if they can get any damage, any good spam. It's all down to what they can get with these scouts, with these demo man as well. The stray pipes could land, and the stray scouts good shots will land as well. Voxtech goes down, GG goes down too. There's potential to even walk on further forward. Demul, Deli, Mula all walking in through the choke, and it's complete evacuation now from the rest of NOOBPANZER. They've given in, they have to run.
Yeah, I mean, they're entirely aware. They need to make sure they get towards this last. Second verse, same as the first. Exactly what we were looking at over from Snakewater, and I think entirely reasonable. They take away the sentry, delaying it a little bit more actually means we don't have that NG. It's going to be a swap over to heavy with damage from Hugo. Doesn't need to a kill just yet. Foxy trying to mow down, and Hugie over on that Pyro does have the loose cannon. Does GG? I'm looking forward to some potential double donks is the words I was looking for.
Yeah. It's nice. There was a play underneath again already from Water, and like you say, with the gun not being there, it makes it a bit easier. You get a bit more space, but like they're just too aware on NOOBPANZER. You're not going to catch people like they sent the one soldier underwater, and then it's like QB's like, aha, they won't expect the second player going underwater, runs under, and they expected it. And you know, fighting a soldier in water is never going to end well if you're a scout. But I like the initiative. You know, you get these tiny bits of time before like the guns built up, where you can go for something a little bit more aggressive before you sort of have like the trenches dug properly. And yeah, they're going to have to slow it down, going to have to play the long haul now. There is a gun to be spammed out. There is a soldier currently in Demul trying to spam over towards it with Hugie on Pyro. Like, how do you break into this?
It's very difficult. That's the simple answer. Going to be swapping over to the sniper now for QB, so I do like that. Importantly, they did not spot this, so this could be huge in terms of picking a player. So QB misses, the shot rings out, they know what's happening. They trade a couple of players over, Demul and QB both gone, but you can see that GG is providing that firepower with the panic attack and keeping them safe. NOOBPANZER have a solid defense here.
I like the idea. I do respect the idea from Qubit, especially when you're peeking in from main like that. If you've got a play coming in from water, and the sniper from main can catch one of the players going back to block the point, like I've seen rounds just leave the points capped completely under everyone's noses, where a sniper just catches one kill onto either the soldier watching on the rim or like a scout, for example, that's going back, or the heavy or whatever, right? You can catch whoever walking back, but it doesn't quite work out. The shots don't land, and actually QB pays with his life too. But QB's back up on the sniper, still feeling confident and still thinking about peeking in through main. Is it going to be more successes this time?
Ooh, a lot of players below here if they can find the kill. Exactly as you said, that's going to be so much, and that's it! Man, you are prescient in that moment. Brilliant for 4Fens as they take it in the exact way you just described.
It's great, right? Literally one shot is all it takes on a player watching it, and it doesn't even work out perfectly for 4Fens. They lose the first kill, so I believe it's Ryan who sat on the rim as they're pushing up, but like the Gullywash last caps so fast, and the standard hold is so far away that it can work out. And 4Fens 4 minutes in, they're taking the lead, and they are hoping it to bounce back. They have Granary in their sights, but that sight is still 26 minutes away because there's another mid-fight coming up already.
Yeah, good damage. Deli is low here. Needs to get that healing. Well, we'll get it eventually, but Demon falls in the meantime. Again, he's trades back and forth, but you can see that Hugie is going so aggressive with GG, who's able to really control this map, as you said before. Look at how far forward they are. They even take down Moolah. NOOBPANZER, they lose the round, they strike right back.
Fantastic turnaround. you lose the round, literally 30 seconds later, they're full ad walking into enemy last. I want to highlight Hugo there as well, bombing up through that drop down. Yes, does go down, but like 6 players turned around to look at the soldier who was bombing it up. So it's really well dealt with from the rest of the team. Already a recollapse in, 6 men fall on the 4 fence side, and the gun already falling 2 before the human charge is even in.
Oh man, they were looking to try and stop themselves from getting caught by their own strategy here, but they lose a lot of play. Well, actually, they only lose 1. More or less than I thought. They do lose that sentry, as they said, as you say, and a good damage coming out from GG here. Wants to try and take that heavy down, but doesn't quite pick them out. A lot of players sitting in lower here. Moolah keeping that heavy alive, just barely here as the damage rains through. Foxy does manage to pick off Deli. That is Brugman going down. A lot of players starting to fall here. They even take the men. NOOBPANZER have it, and they, as I said, they strike right back.
Foxy, that was one of the craziest scout plays I've ever seen from Foxy. Just runs in, jumps over the soldier on point, runs into water, gets a kill, then runs back up to the point. Meanwhile, the 1000 health heavy is finally toppled after what was an absolute age of Moolah just pin cushioning the back of their heavy. Must have been so frustrating to fight, but eventually it works out. It's the slowest Uber ad conversion I think I've ever seen, but somehow, someway, they make it work. And we're back to 1-1. It was less than 2 minutes the round. A great play.
Yeah, I mean, all off the back of picking that medic early on here. D-Mill takes a lot of damage, but it's actually going to be Hugo is the first to fall. And Brugman, make sure you can't come up that back spot. This time, for fence, do not fall prey to that one. And I love from NOOBPANZER here that they look at that and go, okay, let's not lose too much. Let's go to play second here. And we were highlighting how important this second mid kind of stalemate can be. But we hadn't yet seen it in this map. It was kind of just a roll from mid, pretty much in all the scenarios, or at least push towards last off the back of that.
Yeah, this is the traditional place where the game can really grind to a halt over on Gully Wash. And we're seeing already QB going to try and go for something aggressive in through Baby Door, but it's so difficult when there's all the explosive classes just pointed straight at that little shutter. You don't know what surprises could be awaiting you on either side. And for QB's sake, it was a soldier with a rocket launcher. Didn't end all too well for QB, who's not decided to off-class. So that might have been an attempt to off-class, maybe go for a sniper or something. But even still, like, sniper is really difficult to make work.
In this position,
it's not great. Yeah, you can run for Big Door, but that's about it really. Like, they're still going to group Big Door on 4 fence. They want to try and get people behind. They want to try and pressure in, which is standard protocol. But see if it works this time.
We're going to try and lock up this position. Deli moving forward. Wants to get a little bit more beam before they start moving again. Not quite at that full buff, but Mullah's not close in this position at the current moment. Good try. QB almost goes down, but here you see it. Muller is here. Does have access to that Uber, but they're not looking to try and use it just yet. They don't want to go for the trade. But you can see that NOOBPANZER are absolutely trapped here. Brugman takes down Hugo. This does mean they're going to be completely cut off from trying to make that retake happen. GG blows them up, but has to survive with the Uber. However, Uber is used on both sides. It is going to expire in just a second. Has done now. And it is for fence with that second point control. They're looking towards last as the off classes start to come out. They're running. They're making it down into water. They're trying to find it. They do get sprite out, I believe. Nevo, at least known of, as Voxtech does sit atop this little position. I'm loving that from the heavy. Trying to make sure that they can't find too much. With QB falling down, for fence are again lacking a player.
They have this tiny window of opportunity where GG was caught late on the previous fight, and they think, you know, there's no demo, we may as well try and send it in, but sending it in with no Uber, and like, they had all of lobby to take. It was very rushed from 4 fence. And I understand the rush, they want to get in before the demo man spawns up, but now the demo man's up, and the demo man is ready in position, and once that's there, like you say, the heavy on the rim as well, he's just completely unbeatable at 450 HP, and with no other frags coming through, it's going to be, basically an impossible push. But 4 fence, they're in no rush, 4 minutes and 10 seconds left before any potential round reset. Uber charges ready, and QB up on the sniper.
I'm loving the fact that they're going for this off pass. I think it's going to be necessary for them to open this. This is a very difficult last hold to try and push, and they found success with it before. Interested to see if they're going to go for a similar strategy. You can see the scout already going into river. Don't think it's going to make it all the way into water. With the demo down, that's pretty important for NOOBPANZER. Let's see if they use that as an opportunity to take space. I think at least they're going to take lobby here. Don't think quite second. You can see GG already putting down those sticks to try and catch it.
Yeah, killing the demo when you're defending is kind of awkward, right? Because like demo is such a great pick, but you still can't really push out, especially like on Gullywash. Yeah, you have River, which is like some kind of positioning into second, but it's so back capable. You have to leave like at least one player on last, probably your NG, and it just takes so long. And now Delhi is back in position already. It just buys about a minute on the clock, and in the meantime, Demo was snuck underneath, actually alongside Nevo, the sniper on the peak as well. Getting ready for a Pathless hero shot this time. Actually hits the shot to Ryan. The cap time has come through in a big way. Nevo taken down though. Good attempt. Again, the sniper, it's so deadly on Gullywash last for blocking the point, but falling 3 is maybe not ideal.
No, it's not. Full fence back out. They're very sensible on this. While they don't really have many great defensive classes to keep that meta alive, NOOBPANZER are way too worried about getting back cap or caught in any way, shape or form, so they cannot realistically push out in this position. So the teams kind of settle into this rhythm again as we set up for another chance to find that pick and find that thing which will unlock the last point.
Yeah, back on the sniper again for Kiva. I want to see if it's going to be more of the same, just because it's worked once and it nearly worked that last time. Just trying to catch the players over towards the point as QB peeks all the way in. Who's going to show the head? Who's going to be able to be in the line of sight for this shot? Nobody so far as the bomb comes in. Hugo, but the bomb comes in onto Medic. And Pickles is forced out. All the distraction was towards the sniper, towards the point, and the Soldier Bruisman able to just fly in on top of Pickles. Ubercharge forced out. Massive advantage now goes to Mula.
Loving the absolutely beautiful layering of strategy coming through from Full Fence here. They've been threatening this move again and again towards that point to try and find the straight up win, you know, to catch NOOBPANZER off guard. NOOBPANZER are prepared for it. They're prepared for the sniper to come from River to put that pressure on, but what they weren't ready were those bombs. They expected people to go towards point to maybe try and find something, but instead they hit Piggles, and they hit Piggles hard. Uber Ad is coming through. Delhi is already going to cut off that right-hand side with those sticks. Going to be players playing onto the point ASAP. The Heavy is already dead. Can they clear out the back of this point? There's still a soldier back there. Hugo does not want to let it happen. Piggles gets the saw and sets their team alight with that Uber. Brilliantly played, and will keep NOOBPANZER in good stead for now as Full Fence run away. They have a small ad, but I don't think it's enough to really be able to leverage it pushing into this last.
That is a massive play from Pickles, getting the soul. That Ubercharge would not have been there. There was only 3 players left alive. It was a 4v3. They needed that Ubercharge, and Pickles comes in, gets the soul on the stairs, and uses the Uber instantaneously. The Uber ad push, it was going perfectly up until that moment. The cap was just about to come through, but now there's only 36 seconds on the clock. It's down to trade territory. It's down to just send it in and hope. There is still about 20 advantage for Mula, and the Ubercharge coming in for the right-hand side. Gun taken down. Player on point. Bruisman, though, already caught out. Pickles 97, 98 goes down on 98% on the way in. Yuji, so weak as well. Ryan, weak on the point, but there's no more cavalry left to attack with. It looked good for a second there for the aggression from Full Fence, but NOOBPANZER, they will not budge.
I think sensibly so. There's a world where maybe Ryan hits the most insane rocket jump to make it to like second to try and like keep it alive, but there's no reason to go for it. They're happy for the stalemate, reset towards that mid. There wasn't any major Uber run anyway, so Full Fence not too hard done by on this, but NOOBPANZER very happy with where they are.
But yeah, that could have been around twice. Both the first time Pickles with the sword to save them, and the second one, if there was just like one player that hadn't died earlier on in that fight from Full Fence that could sweep up all those low players expecting to get a flash in the Uber, that is round done and dusted. But as it is, still 1-1, still over half the game left to play, still plenty of things that they can show for us on this mid-fight as another aggressive form coming across from Hugo. Demo under the point, going to be going 1-for-1 with Ryan. And now he's just sort of settling things down, maybe going for a bit of spam. Bruisman going behind to elbow as well.
Yeah, for a chance to maybe find something here, Bruisman. I'm going to put some damage down to put some threat on. You can see NOOBPANZER decided the only way out is through. They go in, but there it is. Kubi goes huge. takes down 2. And, I mean, NOOBPANZER, they were looking for it, looking for the opportunity to try and turn that one on its head. But it's no dice. Ryan's still behind. He's definitely worried about exactly what's going on here. Oh, no, sorry. I thought Ryan was behind. Ryan was actually in spawn. And NOOBPANZER, they're on the last. They're on Uber Disad, massively so. They're going to have to really pull out all the stops to take this one. Otherwise, 4 Fence are going to surge into the lead.
Dilly gets caught there on mid, but like the aggression forward, like you see, it was so fast, but like the recollapse from Bruisman in behind and from the 2 scouts, it was perfect. Just everyone hit all of their shots, and they now get the rewards for it. Gun already taken fairly weak potential to get it spammed out, but another Pyro is there in position, and it's going to be the push in from River once more. The demo getting juggled around. This is not looking ideal. QB Bruisman both falling. It's a nightmare of a push.
Oh, beautifully played by Ryan there, showing he's not just a pretty bomber, he's also good at just clicking on those I was about to say those heads, the ground around the players. Really good damage coming through, denying that push forward. Almost got a nice shotgun switch there to finish off an extra player, but it's more than enough. NOOBPANZER will take that one. They will go into second, and they will try and take this space. They are not letting this one lie.
Absolutely not, and we see a lot of teams like with Uber ad like that. They don't want to push out, but they've got so many kills and so much ad that they may as well try and go in and try and make it work. Already got the gun to QB as Ubercharge comes in from this right hand side. It's going to be the only frag they find as actually Demo going for a flank play is taken down also. But Cap going to come through, but now is the thing, we might get into flip-flop territory. Moolah up at 98%, 2 spawners quite a way away so far, but we could go into flip-flop territory, but this is far, far better than when NOOBPANZER were literally a minute ago where they were distant on their own last.
Yeah, I mean, NOOBPANZER managing to find the exact opportunity they needed. And again, I'd like to highlight that Ryan was pivotal in that, in denying that water play. But NOOBPANZER on a whole, just really, really calm. And I love this about this team. They are precise and they are patient and they look for their opportunity. They knew, hold the last, wait for the mistake to come. 4 Fence slip, NOOBPANZER do not let it happen. Ryan is down. Can they find much more as GG just has to walk back here? They do manage to take down both soldiers, but they lose a couple players their own.
I'm counting that as a win for 4 Fence, even though they didn't like go and use their Uber and just walk in and kill everyone. Like they just get the point for free, and they're now in even Uber's stalemate into second, which is an improvement on where they could have been in sort of a flip-flop situation around the midpoint. And they were still waiting for these couple of spawners over from NOOBPANZER. They decided to just walk in with the trade, try and do as much as they can, try and stay behind Bruisman, already beelining over towards River, as the rest of the team now trying to re-engage from both. As you see these post-Ubers go so well, but Bruisman going down just kind of kill any hopes of any sort of recollapse, any re-engagement from them. As we're just going to build back up again, and I think we might be grinding back to a hole once more.
I'm really loving the fact that 4 Fence are so happy to go for these trades, and their positioning has been pretty successful on the whole. They were not able to get the soldiers behind this time, but honestly, I'd not be surprised if the FF and their name actually stands a fancy feat, the way they've been moving and dancing around a lot of these kind of macro situations with the Uber, where they're trying to get a positional advantage, trying to force NOOBPANZER off. And I think sensibly this time, NOOBPANZER, they engaged with the exchange more favorably for themselves and made sure they didn't lose too much, whereas before 4 Fence were very forward, very aggressive with their positioning, try and cut anything out. That's gonna be... Oh, okay, sorry, I thought this guy was just getting caught by the double dunk there from
that was a good effort. It was really close. But actually, as it stands, it's going to be healed up, and actually the 2 players, QB and D-Mule, once again the flank gang going all the way in behind, and now this is aggression time from Choke with these players behind to catch off Hugo, getting absolutely deleted on the way in. Bruisman losing the fight on the flank, Ryan trading out for D-Mule now. The collapse could come in. The Ubercharge is still not popped up from either of these teams. Moolah taken weak though is going to have to use first, and it's going to be a worse Uber for 4 Fences. They have to just waddle it all the way back out, and we are back to square number 1 on this push. It looked good for a moment, but Moolah just taken a bit too weak for his liking up on top of the point, and completely understandable. It's good they've got everyone back out again on 4 Fence for their sake, and that they can have another go at exactly the same push.
Yeah, it was just soldier for soldier for soldier for soldier for these teams, and they decided that actually, with Uber not being quite successful in finding any extra picks, as you said, they just back out. They don't commit towards us. Again, these teams are both very happy to play patient. There's a reason they are on these maps. D-Mule down. GG wants to try and find the catch onto this scout, but won't quite get it. NOOBPANZER not able to really find an opportunity to push out here. These teams are just waiting, biding their time to really turn this into something more successful.
It's awkward, especially when you're on the defensive side of the stalemate. You're like, the choke points are like even worse for pushing out of the Inter. And yeah, off one soldier, they just have to chill. They have to just wait. They can't even start looking to peek or sending a counter sack because they need both of their soldiers ready to defend. And again, QB, Demo all the way in behind into lobby. Ryan tasked so far with just keeping an eye on them, seeing where they're going, see what their intentions are. And so far it seems that the intentions are to just sort of stick in the shutter and take a boatload of spam. While this Uber charge comes in, Nevo, Brugman in the Uber this time around, and Brugman getting juggled to death. Creators in the drop down. Hugo Muller actually in a bit of an awkward situation now. Vox just walks in completely and destroys on that, but Pickle's down on the other side of things. Nevo going to try and run in and try and get some kind of salvage over onto Voxy, but taken down. 3 survive for the red, 0 for the blue, and it's a successful hold again from NOOBPANZER.
Wow, I can't. That one went absolutely crazy. Players fighting each other all over that second point. And as you said, NOOBPANZER come out on top. Really nice DM coming through from pretty much everyone to win their duels. And for Fence, were really not able to do anything. They wanted to use the Uber more effectively to try and find some sort of leverage. But NOOBPANZER hold their ground. They do not give it up this time. And they learnt lessons from that Snake Water. And it's a big opportunity for them. They lose Ryan, but likely not going to lead to much more. As actually, they're the ones pushing out into mid. Sorry, Fence are finally the ones pushing out into mid here. Try and find something off the back of that, but GG stays alive. Pickles will keep them healthy, and they haven't lost any players. They finally do. Unfortunately, it's going to be NOOBPANZER finding way more as they cut the wings off of Fence here. It's just Brugman, Nevo, and Muller here, as they're just going to have to run away back into this second, but look who's behind!
So much trouble.
It's the rest of this NOOBPANZER team. The combo is behind. They're going to try and get this. Pickles goes low, has to use the Uber there, but they've got such an advantage. It's Scout and Med versus each other, and they've even got the soldier to come on in, but just in the nick of time, Fence's team comes to deliver them from that D-Mule. Brilliant for Fence there, and frankly, stop them from just losing the round outright.
Yeah, they had 3 players up technically on second, but Brugman was in behind in enemy rivers, so I'm not sure if we can really count that as too much of the fight, to be quite honest. Voxy has snuck underneath. I think D-Mule is aware of this. Is no chance of funny business onto this last point, but yeah, like you said, the reinforcements were so clutch there for Fence. It still didn't go well. Let me know, they did still lose the point, but it could have gone a heck of a lot worse for the rest of the combo, and actually could have gone for Mulu, who's eating a decent amount of spam from these rockets. No gun so far, there's just not been time for it yet, I guess, and the spam is just relentless from NOOBPANZER. You don't have time to build the gun, you don't have time to get off these off-classes at all. The heavy, the pyro working overtime so far, and it's looking at pretty rough.
Yeah, you can also feel that pressure that Nevo is providing. Sorry, not Nevo. Whoever's underneath, I can't remember, I think it's UG, was trying to provide from that water, but they are forced off again. And again, I'm loving this heavy, especially on the on that last, obviously, as we know, but it's been working brilliant for these teams so far. Interested to see if there's going to be any off-classing from the aggressive side, from the side of NOOBPANZER. I think this is a big opportunity, but it wasn't
Huge running back. Huge is running back. Huge is running back to spawn.
Right.
Yeah, Huge is coming up on the sniper. We've seen it work before. Well, we've seen mixed results from QB over on Fence with this, but again, it's one of those last points where, like, yes, there is like a hero shot angle up from River where you can go for the medic, but again, it's kind of like Metalworks in the sense that just getting kills in the supporting cast is as important, if not more important, than necessarily landing the hero shot over onto the medic. But River is where all 5 of the players, Hugo is just watching lobby. Huge going to peek over and in and try and catch some players walking back. Big 150 onto D-Mule, and perhaps chance to walk in even further.
Junior to try and get the shot here.
D-Mule down.
Quite take it out. D-Mule, as he said, but that's Ryan and Voxtech gone instantly here. NOOBPANZER, they try to step forward. They try to find that opportunity, but it doesn't quite happen yet again. 3 minutes on the clock for this, kind of position, but still about 7 minutes left on the clock. There's still a lot to work with, yes, but with the way this has been going, these teams are going to find them lacking that time very soon, I feel.
It's a hard one, right? There's time. Yeah, there is still time to work with. Right? There's like 2:45 in the round time, but they're keeping up the sniper, which I think honestly, the sniper did its job. It got a lot of damage to Demo, made it awkward for those players running back, but they were basically saved at the fourth side by the fact that Brugman just hits some really nice rockets on point. You can't really account for that all the time. Yuji, again, peeking in from River on this same angle. Look at Forfeits, they're all just hiding behind the pillars. They're all hiding in the perfect angles where they can't be seen. And Boojman Deli sinking up once more to defend onto this point. 2 for 2, so there is potential to maybe like start looking in further. Hugie with the big peek in, goes for the hero shot. The rockets though, and the bomb in from Hugo. Oh, it works out, and it works out wonders for this aggression from NOOBPANZER.
Yeah, really nice done. Uber, however, is used here, importantly, from Mula. I don't know exactly what caused that to be used.
There's a bomb
still
from
an
Hugo
Uber from
underneath.
Pickles. Yeah, this is actually going to be really, really worrying. As they're going to come back through now. Voxy moves on into lobby, checking out everything, going, okay, right, here's where we're going to go. We're getting on the right-hand side. We're going to make sure that sentry is gone. And from there, our Uber should manage to succeed. They're looking for a chance, and now is absolutely that time to go. They're pushing forward. The Uber is there. Voxtech will be able to take that one down. They need to clear out these stickies. They need to clear out the players in the back of point as that heavy comes to bear. Already you see them dump themselves in to try and cap on that point, get that time. It can be so quick, but it can be nothing. And Voxley is already having to fall back. As you said, Hugie was trying to make it happen, but the sticks were there, and for fence, they hold strong.
I'd be fuming if I was Hugie. I'd be absolutely fuming. Hugie just like ran in and destroyed both of the soldiers at point blank range on the point. But the rest of the team is able to get nothing. That like clump of players in front of the right spawn shutter from Forfence's perspective just did such great work with the heavy, with the pyro and the demo. It was great from them. It was just, yeah, Hugie went in and tried to make it work, and who soldier picks is all he will get. And Pickles getting caught on the way out by Boojman is actually, this is monster. There's 3 players down and massive Uber ad. Are we going to get a repeat of last map where a coast to coast just happens in the dying minutes? Like, this is on.
It just might, and this is exactly what Forfence needed, and frankly what I wanted. I want that third map, man. I need Forfence to deliver for me.
It could be so good.
I'm so excited. I really want to get this one to Granary, but NOOBPANZER, they do not, obviously. They want to hold this one up. They want to lock this one down here. They want their chance to take down Mandem in that finals. But between them right now stands Forfence and stands an Uber from Mula here that could decide everything. Pickles is building very quickly here, as quick as they possibly can. That is going to be pivotal here, and I think it's going to be there in time.
Yes, but it's the crits. We saw last time the crits did a great deal of work with the heavy. I think it was Hugie who was deployed on last time. This time we'll see whose turn it is. Charge comes in with his right-hand side crits on the heavy. Voxy, the nominee for this laser beam deployment, but it's all about the point, all about the cap time, and so far the cap time just hasn't come through at all. The laser beams are out, getting 2 frags and a crit rocket there from Ryan, and yeah, you've got to collapse on that heavy when the crits comes out, but the heavy has so much health. What do you even do? They've just not achieved anything in that Uber charge, and now like NOOBPANZER, they could start looking at maybe pushing out here. There's plenty of players in second already. There's Forfence, they're wanting to play close on mid. They know that Pickles is going to have to swap off to a stock Uber charge. It's going to be roughly even for Ubers. But NOOBPANZER, what a defense. Again, they're hanging on by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, I really want to highlight the soldiers in particular from NOOBPANZER denying any of the players from actually getting onto the point, because what was important about this was you saw that NOOBPANZER were stuck on that right-hand side, stuck in that position where they could not move forward. It was the soldiers who jumped forward, risked themselves hand and limb to try and make sure that no one could step on that point, because if they were, no one could stop them. So brilliantly done by NOOBPANZER, and they're looking to just make this chance happen. They do have a lose Hugo immediately here and take a lot of damage, but importantly don't die. There's the Uber, right on back, and Pickles had to flash, I believe, the scout there at least briefly, but keeps their players alive for now. They're down a player, however. This is the exact opportunity, the exact chance. They take down the med. Forfence find what they need. They need to keep Mula alive. 20, 30-ish HP. Brilliantly manages to survive for now. GG is locked away, squared, in a position which is just untenable. Good rockets from Hugo put that pressure onto the side of Delhi, but it's not quite there. Pickles wants to try and find an opportunity to move forward, but knows there's no dice. This is Forfence finding their chance, finding their opportunity. Hugo tries to deny, tries to be the hero as Ryan and the gang, they want to keep this one in hand, and you can see that they do. They make Forfence second guess themselves, and that Uber led to nothing.
they're gonna have ad. They're gonna still have 25, 30-ish ad for this push in. There was an attempt there. They knew 2 spawners were late. They knew the QG and GG were both still in the respawn queue. They had about a 5-second window to try and bully in, but the heavy did just about enough work. And now the real Ubercharge can come in. Pickles 80%. Keep your eyes on that Ubercharge bar for Pickles. The counter Uber could be huge if it's able to come in. The gun taken down, bounce on towards the point. Captain coming through, but the Ubercharge is there for the red. They have no demo though to use on, and the offense players, they're trying to scurry away, they're trying to live, they're trying to get out. Moolah dancing up into the launch pad, and actually does go down, but there's only 3 players left. There's only 2 players left now. Foxy's so weak, gets taken down. The medic onto the point. Pickles cannot make it. Offense, they battle on. We're going to Granary.
Man, oh man, scrappy as anything. 4 fence. They go in with the Uber. They take that the left-hand side. But NOOBPANZER, they try to make sure they can redouble their efforts on the right-hand side. This time, a player gets on. They have to push forward. They overextend themselves. They can't find much more. And 4 fence play the extended fight. They eventually lose their med, as you say, juggled in the air. But 4 fence, they do not care. They get those frags, they set themselves up, and now they've got to dig their heels in. They cannot see this one right back. GG gets taken down right away. That's exactly what 4 fence needed. I was saying play slow, play sensible. No, they went for it, but they lose Delhi. They lose just Delhi, but everyone in NOOBPANZER dies, and as you say, that is game. Sorry, I got mixed up on the clock. I was all like, oh no, they've still got 4 minutes. No. I was wrong. I apologize for that, but whoa, what a round.
Honestly, right, that game should have been over ages ago. But NOOBPANZER, their last holds were like impeccable. Like Pickles, like the Uber soul from Pickles. We had crazy bombs onto the point by Hugo. We had everything in the book to hang on to this point. But let it be known, this was 1-1 after about 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it was from that point onwards, it was a complete slog, mostly around the NOOBPANZER last point, multiple advantage last pushes, and the final one that works, it's almost an Uber trade because Pickles is so close to getting it. It's just again the recollapse comes in. The health bars were just slightly too low on NOOBPANZER, and they're made to pay. And they had their chance at getting through perhaps earlier into that match later on tonight against Mandem, but they're gonna have to fight on. There's Granary coming up, and 4 fence they had a pretty good showing on Granary yesterday. But NOOBPANZER, they're no slouches themselves. The grand final of LAN, they had that amazing Granary game against Skedder. Like, there was some phenomenal highlight plays from that as a team. They played great. So honestly, this map just should be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it, as you've kind of highlighted. I'm looking forward to seeing more from pretty much everyone. I think in particular, I've been obviously impressed by the demos on the previous map, but we again highlighted this as a scout and soldier centric 2 teams, and I think Granary is such a brilliant way to play it. I'm honestly, I'm chomping at the bit to see exactly what Ryan and the gang are going to be able to get up to on Granary. I think it's going to be a very exciting one. I think if you're a med player, look away now. You're not going to like these graphic scenes you're about to see, because it's going to be pretty brutal, I imagine. Loving the aggression coming out from 4 fence, and I think here on Granary, that could be a game changer. And I think for 4 fence, they really want to make it happen, right? They barely made playoffs because they had that second game, as you said. They actually played with some of the players at LAN, and I think Pepe's Pizza Party were also playing at LAN, but the rest of them online. They have been in playoffs many times before, though, but it's never quite made it happen. And I'd really love to see them have success here, go on and take on Mandem in that final.
But think how, on the counterpoint to that, like NOOBPANZER, right? They won LAN.
It's true. They did actually win it, yeah.
They could be like the first team to be like simultaneous like LAN and online champions in a long time. Obviously, there's Mandem to walk through after this, and their game against Mandem yesterday wasn't too pretty. We'll brush past that for now. Mandem have kind of beating everyone this season, but yeah, I don't know. All the pressure on the line, right? They obviously both would be in this grand final. 4 fence, they've, like you say, they've been in plenty of playoffs before, and yeah, they had a grand final against Witness last year. I think that's their only grand final that they've made it into, despite being like playoffs mainstays. So it's all down to this. It's all down to Granary, and like you say, it's a map that it can slow down, particularly around second. They call it like I'll say the line, everyone. It's 7 CP. There's yard, and then there's actually the real second point. So you can get a lot of stalemates around that, and you get round resets off of it. But also on the other hand, like it's got one of the most explosive mids on the scene at the minute. Last point, I don't know, there's been like a revolution this season on last of teams just deciding to like 3 and 4 man sack just instantly on Granary last, and I've absolutely loved it. There's demos hurling themselves in, there's soldiers skyboxing themselves, there's scouts trying to rat in and get onto a medic. Like it makes for real entertaining play. And we saw this at LAN a bit as well. It's like aggression of, yes, we can just sit there in a boring Granary stalemate forever and like sit with a sniper and try and peek and stuff, or we can like, you know, just hurl 3 players in. Yes, we get the force, we have to give up second, and we just keep the game dynamic and flowing. We don't let them sit in and get the gun up and all the other goodies that you'd want on a defense. So this has potential to explode into a classic. And these first 2 maps have just built into it perfectly. Like, I am hyped. Can they just ready up now? I want the game to start. I'm hyped.
Yeah, I honestly, my emotions are really running high from that previous game. I thought that things were like, you know, I thought we had extra time as well right at the end there, so I was like, but obviously I was wrong. I read the wrong clock. But 4 Fence definitely got to be coming off an emotional high right off of the back of that one. They also win the post game little scrimmage, a little like a scuffle they had, and it was off the back of a pretty like exciting way to end. And you know, I don't always say that when it's coming to things like Gully Wash. It can be a little bit, you know, staley, as we said, and it can be very much lock it out, don't let anything happen. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just so pumped to see us go from maps like Snakewater and Gully Wash, which were so exciting despite being a lot of the slower maps, to see us move towards this Granary for like to take them to grand finals, right? And it's good. If it's not explosive, I will be shocked and appalled, frankly.
Yeah, I'm gonna be evil and cliche. Right? Who's winning it? Tell me.
I mean, look, we've divided ourselves, you know, as cons sometimes do, between. You're probably going to say NOOBPANZER. I'm feeling the 4 Fence. I'm for French at the the area,
Stu has also voting for 4 Fence.
That's not good. That's not good. I don't trust you.
No, I see where you're coming from, but like, I don't know. This is the big pressure game.
It is,
as you say, right? And like NOOBPANZER, they were in this exact situation on LAN like a week ago on Granary, and they played one of the best games of Granary I've ever seen. So I have to go over to NOOBPANZER, but I think this could be so close. I completely understand anyone who's putting their points in under 4 Fence. I think this is as close to a 50-50 in my brain as it could be. Both these 2 maps were decided in the dying like minute or so. Like without golden cap, but like they were decided right at the very end of regulation time. Like these 2 teams are like separated by like not even a hair at this point, and there's one more map, 1 place in the final. One of these teams has to come 3rd in the season, and like you say, neither of them wants that to happen. They're just getting the last couple of players into the server now. I'm sure they'll be readying up any moment, just, you know, having that last bit of a team talk, last bit of a drink or something, getting themselves pumped, getting themselves in the zone. Yeah, you get yourself in the zone.
I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back, actually, Ben. Because my throat. I mean, I've been shouting and screaming. I've been hollering.
Oh, absolutely same. Yeah, we can see how the vote's going. Get your channel points in. See if you agree with me or if you're more on team Rook and Stu. Yeah, what a series this has been, and of course, Mandem, they've won. Yeah, they've beaten nigh on everyone. They didn't actually beat NOOBPANZER in the season. It was a map trade 1-for-1, but now, like we said, one team going to be coming 3rd, one team going to have one last stab at making it through all the way to that gold medal. It's the lower bracket final. It's map number 3. It's Granary. We've got 4 Fence in the blue, their traditional colours. Over in the red, we have NOOBPANZER. We have Granary, mid-fight number 1 on its way.
Yeah, teams are looking to punch their ticket and will knock the other out. Definitely looking for that KO here, as you already see Team Mule so high up on the lamp, trying to rain down some of that death from above, but quite able to get anything. I really thought that was going to lead to something, but NOOBPANZER, they hold strong. They go, nope, not happening, and they deny it.
Yeah, really nice work from NOOBPANZER. GG taking out to 5 HP. I'm assuming that was the prime target of that bomb, but it's the thing when you land on that height is, yes, it's safer. You're not getting spammed by these like close-range scattergun shots, these close-range rockets, but also your rockets are doing less damage, so it's a bit harder to get that damage in, and we saw there that, yeah, Usman Demul, they got great positioning, but the damage just was not quite there to find any frags, and now, punished for it, NOOBPANZER already peeking into yard, into second, and ready to get perhaps some players going through Lunchbox.
Yeah, Gonna get that ammo, make sure they don't lose too much here. As for Fence, kind of holding on to the second point. They obviously gave up Yard for free off the back of a pretty brutal start, as NOOBPANZER kind of cut away those two players, but now they've redoubled their efforts and they will be looking for a chance to go forward here. Good damage, does take down GG. That's what 4Fence were looking for. A little bit too much stepping coming from NOOBPANZER, and they get caught off. Nevo looking to push out as Demule provides that pressure from the right-hand side, but they can't step out too much here, and the med is kept alive. They cannot
for now.
But now
they're in big trouble though. They're in big trouble. Nevo's pushing in close. Bruisman in behind as well. Force comes out. Moolah taken very weak also. But the chase is on from 4Fence. This is what happens. One demo oversteps on the point, and the sequence of dominoes that falls after is Ryan getting caught too. Yes, Bruisman falls, but this is essentially a point gain now from 4Fence. They're now out into Yard. They're able to defend it. Foxy getting caught on the entrance. Hugo getting caught on the entrance as well. And there's still two players down. They can even walk this further if they want from 4Fence.
Yeah, really nicely done. 4Fence, as you said, caught them in the Yard, got a couple of nice picks, and now NOOBPANZER are going to have to move back to their own second. And there's not a huge Uberad of any description, so it's not going to be too problematic for them, but they are actually going to move out and try and control this Yard a lot more than I expected to come out from NOOBPANZER here. They want to make 4Fence fight for every inch.
Of course, and why not? It's a super tough to crack as well. This like Yard area, like Choke is so like, it's so tight. You've got my soldier to let Bruisman's try it now, but it's hard to keep that soldier alive. But Demo is actually the bombing from the garage. Land one rocket over onto Pickles, but not find anything else. And with the second soldier getting caught, it's maybe a bit overzealous from 4Fence, as they're now left soldierless completely as the push comes in. Ubercharge ready to get used from both these teams. Trade out onto the point. Still 2 more seconds before these blue soldiers are going to be spawning in, so it's going to be a retreat on the cards. No reinforcements there. Delhi going to be juggled a little bit on the escape, but is safe and sound. All the way back on the second, and that's the thing, you sacking players, you lose the point.
Yeah. A lot of missteps coming through as people try to push into that second so far, as you said. And surprisingly so, Pickles gone down. This is huge though. This is exactly what 4Fence needed. They lose a couple of players, yes, but they have huge Uberad here. This is exactly the opportunity they're looking for. And I like that from NOOBPANZER response to this, they make sure they take that mid. They buy themselves a little bit of extra breathing room, a little bit of extra space, so they don't lose too much on the back of this Uber disadvantage.
Yeah, they're trying to force it in early. Bruisman dying is actually like that's a big nuisance for their team. Moolah wasn't at Ubercharge yet. Bruisman's going to spawn all the way back on last because mid currently isn't held. It's a really, really long trek to get all the way across Granary, and Pickles is going to have a decent chunk of Uber by the time that Bruisman's here. So it's going to make things a lot tougher. Perhaps maybe Pickles doesn't get early enough to like use here, but maybe there's chance for re-aggression because Garage already been taken, but Pickles is 75%.
Already in.
Ryan!
Try and find something. As you said, Ryan gets caught out of the air. This is brilliant for 4Fence, despite the fact that, as you said, they were down Bruisman. They will be able to take a decent position here and take that mid. They have to use the Uber though, and here's the Uber back. You have to know that there's an equal and opposite reaction coming your way. As NOOBPANZER, they push out a mid, they take it back, and Demule has to, well, leave yet again. 4Fence.
Yeah, the force from Ryan and Garage was really good. Like, they did so much damage to everyone that, like, not only did the force, like, you know, strip out the Uber charge, it meant that 4Fence, they were also weak in the post Uber. That Uber gets, like, basically nothing. And yeah, the re-aggression comes in from Pickles with his own Uber, but, like, now the Uber charges, look how close they are, right? It's like 20 yards. Are they really going to push on this? Maybe, I guess, but it's maybe ill-advised.
Yeah. I think, again, we're kind of reaching a very stalemated position. I mean, kind of to be expected sometimes on Granary here, it really can lead to this position. And it's amusing that we're seeing a very similar style of play to actually what we saw in the previous 2 maps, where they're trading back and forth, they're competing over this mid and this second, and neither can really seem to find their opportunity.
Yeah, Ubercharge is even now though, so Pickles and Co will be feeling a bit more confident to try and bomb players through. Hugo with the first one to jump into Choke, but decides, you know what, I've seen enough, and jumps all the way back out after taking a good chunk of damage. It's a tough one. You're bombing through, you're bombing into a little cubby just to buy space, and all the eyes turn your way. You have to make a judgment for that one. And yeah, Hugo just decides, you know what, gonna bomb back out. It's a good thing to try though, but now gonna be Ryan's turn to bomb in and through, and bomb in and high all the way around onto Moolah. One rocket lands, the second rocket does not connect, but it does not matter because Moolah pops. Moolah believed in the second rocket, and that is all that counts. Ryan, big successful bomb high in from that choke side, and the thing is, if you get given the space, why not go for a high bomb?
100%. Loving that from NOOBPANZER here. And again, a player that we wanted to highlight in Ryan, managing to find those opportunities yet again and showing us just how brilliant they can be in making those plays and making those opportunities. And as we said, this is a map where that success can be absolutely massive, right? The soldiers really can go to town with all that skybox. Uber used by NOOBPANZER here does mean they're going to be on disad coming in here, but they will take that second and will make it very difficult for Fortnite. There's not like to be a counter push. As you can see already, the soldier, sorry, not the soldier, the heavy, no, they swapped off of it. They actually look like they are going to push back.
This is dangerous. This is super dangerous.
Really
I don't know if I like this. Brugeman getting caught already, and that is got to be cancelled. That's push cancelled, surely. Losing one pick like that. I don't know, I'm going to say I don't particularly like the fact that like NOOBPANZER had to use. I couldn't tell if they got forced on the way in from shutters, but they still had about 40 or 50 yards. They could have maybe tried to walk in and use a bit later on, try and save it for into last. But now it's all about the sacks, all about the bombs in. Ryan again landing a ton of damage onto Mula, who was down to 15 HP for a second there, as Hugie as well gonna sack in. The Uber Chargers still actually not up over on the NOOBPANZER side, but they don't care. I guess Mula must be thinking, counting the Ubers. I think Pickles has been buffing a lot, and not like aggressively building, so they can chill and sit there as the off-classers come in.
Yeah, liking that beforehand. And loving as well the kind of nerves of steel that Mula had to not use that. I was really worried. I was like, the 19 HP dodges out the way of any extra splash coming their way, and nicely done. And you can feel the tension right now in this game, right? You can see that every single time there's kind of that push forward, these medics are under such immense threat that you have to be very, very worried. Already looking to set up to try for that opportunity. The spy is coming through here for Hugie. Not over on the sniper on this one. I don't know. Will they be able to get into position? That's my big question.
Well, the Pyro makes it a bit harder, but GG with the parachute bomb all the way in. Big stickies, big rockets landing onto Mula, who's juggled into the sky. Does use out the Uber Charge. Spy taken down also, but 3 players down for that. And this is what I said earlier in the pre-game. Like, this has become kind of the meta this season, just sending these really aggressive, high-risk, high-investment sacks into last to try and get these Uber Chargers away. Pickles, though, in danger, and does actually get forced out by D-Mule. The 2 soldiers working in tandem, Brugeman and D-Mule in Lunchbox. The Uber Charge stripped away from Pickles, and that sack was for naught.
Wow, I cannot believe they actually managed to find that counter sack, to find the force right on back. I'm shocked to see that. You go very deep here, but no one able to contest them. Support is there from their team. The sentry goes down. They know now you cannot push out that right-hand side. Look at this jump. That's a nice rocket, 40 damage, but can't turn it into more. And they will take down D-Mule, yes, but they lose a couple of players in response there. And NOOBPANZER, they have to fall back. They're trying really hard to make that one happen.
GG's like didn't get the memo. It's a respectable sack trying to go in, but just bombs straight into a scout, and QB not going to be beefing those, and with no demo, there's no real hope of holding on to second now for NOOBPANZER. It was a great opportunity. Just that force coming in from Brugeman and D-Mule is so big. It's fantastic for them. But now, like, it's at the end of the road. Pickles has Uber in just a second. Yard already been controlled, contested by these teams. Uber Charge flashed out around all over the shop. Hugo going to be taken down by Nevo, and this Uber Charge from 4 fence is actually going to just get away scot-free with that kill into Hugo, and Hugie weak as well, all the way back into Garage. This has been a successful Uber, I'd say, for 4 fence. They're still in a fight in Yard.
Yeah, they're trying to contest it. They actually muscle them out. NOOBPANZER are doing well at keeping that one at bay.
It's a good effort. The trade coming in, I really thought Hugie was going to go down as well, but Hugie just like literally ran all the way to mid and thought, I am not going near this Uber Charge. And yeah, I understandable completely, but NOOBPANZER, a big win for them, able to recollapse in. I was convinced there for a moment that 4 fence were going to be able to stick it out and hold Yard, but like, respect to NOOBPANZER, they're able to get in, got the reinforcements there, and now they can look to pressure into second once more.
Yeah. That is going to be a big opportunity for them. If they can find some of the picks here, to maybe look that and push that onto second, this could be huge, but they're going to have a quite slow push here. Good damage, potentially coming onto GG here. Is eating a lot of that beam, so won't go down without a fight, but they just... Okay, I really thought that Ryan might find something a little bit more successful there. I was very worried for full fence for a second.
Yeah,
But yeah, as you
when
say,
the
they do
soldier
catch him.
appears in the medic's face like that, I just caught a timing, I believe, in top lunchbox, but you know, not gonna be Ryan's day. I think yeah, the splash must have been eaten by something there because yeah, Moolah only took about 50 damage.
Yeah. Gonna be again NOOBPANZER looking to try and push on a second to take something successful here. But you can again see that they don't want to mess up. They don't want to lose too much. They just want to find that one opportunity with minimal risk. Again, because the pressure is so high, because the stress is palpable for both of these teams. They want to make that grand final.
Yeah, there's that game against Mandem looming over both of their heads, but they have to sort of, to some extent, put that to the back of their mind now, and you know, just looking for this one game. They've got to get to that final before they start thinking about it too much. And for NOOBPANZER, they're just focusing now on just trying to pressure in, try and land some spam onto Moolah, which they've actually managed to do a decent job of so far. Who's had to run all the way back to try and get the small pack and try and just stay alive. But in the meantime, that means the rest of the team has to be more careful. They can't be eating too much damage when they're not getting buffed. But in the end, it just comes to nothing. Moolah are able to heal back up. But if NOOBPANZER are able to consistently come in like that and get all that damage over onto Moolah, eventually they're going to catch something. The cracks will form.
Yeah, as you said, under this high-pressure scenario, someone's going to slip up. Regardless of the fact that these guys are some of the best TF2 players in Europe right now, they still have, you know, the human error to be worried about. Good damage going back and forth. GG still alive here as the damage is trying to land. Wants to get one of those pipes, but doesn't quite make it. A lot of focus on the demo right now to find some success versus those soldiers, but not quite just yet. But the timer is ticking away. 1 minute 45 on the clock. And NOOBPANZER know they've got to try sometime.
Yeah, they're walking into top lunchbox. Demul going to get a rude awakening with 2 soldiers in his face, and Bruisman as well getting caught out. No soldiers now for the defense at all. Both French soldiers in the server falling just to a 2 buffed soldiers walking up over the lunchbox. It is caught in 2v1s, and now 4 more seconds before these spawners are even in. Gun not ready, so it's just a heavy to try and defend this one. Second point capped up already, and it's all eyes on Moolah. Can this overcharge be forced out? Big commitment in. Ryan gonna bomb in. Hugo gonna bomb in. 2 rockets landing at Moolah's feet, but Moolah dodging and weaving is gonna live all the way back. Good effort there. The 3-man sack comes in, but we're back right to where we just were, because second point surely getting conceded here unless some aggressive trade comes in. And NOOBPANZER, it was a good effort, they just couldn't land it.
No, it doesn't quite. I mean, you saw again player up in the sky, up on that pipe to try and deny something there, but as we said, not quite. What is nice here for NOOBPANZER is obviously they have reset the timer. They're in a good position, and you know it's like someone doing jiu-jitsu, right? They're on top. They're just trying to find that submission, get that arm in there, crack it over, and find an opportunity.
Well, that's
just
it.
Applying the pressure, and as you said, that is big. That's an opportunity for Forvents to start to kind of move on forward here. Sorry, for NOOBPANZER to move on forward here with that Uber Force.
Yeah, Ryan again. It's exactly the same bomb we saw before. Just catches the timing top lunchbox and just lands in the face of absolutely everyone. And Moolah forced out, like had to save both himself and like a lot of the other players who were taking a very weak 1-for-1 trade in top lunchbox. And this might slow things down a tad, but the push can still come in. Moolah's still 50% Uber charge all the way back on last. There is time to run in on this. Usually 5 seconds away from spawning could be a bit of a nuisance in a post Uber, but GG, Boxy, they're in.
They are indeed. Sentry gone immediately. Nice call from NOOBPANZER here. Good focus. They take down the player on top, but those sticks are coming through clear from Delhi right now. Really wants to keep their team alive and just does that. Forvents. They do not fold in this situation. Beautifully done.
And Bruisman, the spawner as well, coming in to catch the frag on the retreating GG as well. It's like those spawners on defense, like those 1-for-1 trades on second like that, they work in the defense's favour so well. There's a sniper to negotiate. I think Hughie had a bit of a moment there where there was a chance of a shot coming in, but it's such a difficult shot to land, and it's not one that's going to be landing today for the Swedish sniper, as the rest of the offense side able to cap up onto mid, able to get the kill into Hughie eventually. There is still a tiny tad of advantage, but nothing that's really worth pushing on. But for offense, this absolutely something they're happy with. They were on their last a minute ago, and they're already capping up mid. Even Ubers, they can get themselves settled.
Let's see. I'm interested to see if NOOBPANZER can hold out here. They've been doing well so far, and on the bounce backs that we've seen, it's been pretty important, but it's pretty solidly held. But Forvents look like they're starting to ramp up their game. And I think NOOBPANZER absolutely are able to match it. We need to see it happen.
Well, they've been quite aggressive on mid with these flank players. There is a lot of sticks in front of Ryan's face, who is a little bit scary there for Ryan on the way out. And Foxy taken out in this force attempt, so really nice force coming through. Like the pressure is great from NOOBPANZER, and yeah, Foxy able to get that force into Moolah, and now Spawner's quite a way away, so it's going to have to be hugely taking over pocket scout roles for this push in. But 5v6 with Uber, you can absolutely go for this, and NOOBPANZER, they want to go.
Yeah, they can indeed. This is exactly the opportunity they were looking for. Getting that force was key, and exactly the kind of stepping up that I wanted to see from them here. Putting that pressure, as he said.
There's so much time.
Potential chance, gets some damage, but not quite the kill.
There's so much time that's wasted. Look, Moolah has 75% Uber already.
Yeah, and with the build, is actually going to reach Uber in time. That was actually so clever. So heads up from 4th fence to give themselves the opportunity here. Brugman manages to escape as well. They don't want to lose too much with QB down. Lacking a decent amount. NOOBPANZER will be able to move forward. Ryan does go in. Will be the Uber used here from Moolah. It will be traded back and forth. However, Biggles does have a little bit of extra time, but they won't be able to convert it to any more. They're not far forward enough. 4th fence forced back as NOOBPANZER just keep on going.
Using the demo there, like just before the Uber charge, it was great work from Hugo on that bomb in, just able to catch those last couple of rockets. The high ground on these crates, if a soldier's able to live there, it's immensely powerful. And now, like, NOOBPANZER is able to just take loads of space to the other. There's QB in behind you, could be a bit of an annoyance, but players are going back for it. I'm not sure how much longer QB has to live in this situation. And with GG actually getting caught, maybe there's, you know, a world where 4th fence can actually stay in this. I really thought it was going from bad to worse for them, but they've somehow stabilized this, and I don't quite understand how.
Yeah. NOOBPANZER right now pushing forward, they're jumping in, but are denied away. And I'm loving again the fact that Ryan is willing to go for these, and I think it's such an important part of any soldier to be able to have that confidence to go for the play again and again and again and find the success. And it's definitely going to be a core part of what leads NOOBPANZER to find this opening, because right now neither team has shown enough to go for that kill shot, to find that win here on this map.
QB, you sneaky gamer, deciding to come up on the spy on a defensive side as well. It's not every day you see this happening, and QB just thinks, you know what, it's a high pressure scenario, there's 10 minutes left, but on our own second, and it's potential the fight against Mandem on the cards. Gonna just sneak around, and the bomb comes in from Ryan.
Oh, they heard.
Oh, they heard. The bomb comes in into Moolah in the meantime, and Ryan is taken down, so it's not going to matter too much with both the second players die without getting a force. But I love the effort. Like, the effort is really nice to see. Hugo going to bomb in again onto Moolah, and once more the medic survives. But it's when you least expect it. You don't expect a spy to just walk out on second like that. When you're defending second, it's a spy needs the element of surprise, and that is the great time to use it. And no, QB, please tell me you're not doing this. No way. Is this a sideshow moment? Are we not expecting? I'm not gonna lie.
They never expected a second time.
This is true. This is a true sideshow moment from QB. Gonna walk it all the way out. Gonna try and get in onto mid. There is a sniper up on Hugie, and I suppose QB can also be checking for that in the meantime. Oh, do you expect this if you're NOOBPANZER?
You don't, right? You're aware it could be happening, but most of the time, people do it once, they swap up, right? That's the sensible, that's the known element, right, of the spy, but it's just crazy enough, it just might work. Hugie is also on that pick class. Let's see who can find success first, because QB is going to have to take a lot of time, a lot of patience to find their chance, to find their opportunity to go forward.
They've got a chance. They're so close. They're right behind the medic. They're right behind the medic. At any moment, this decloak could come in. Hugo is just in front for now of the decloak. It's the timing is everything. This is so tense. The sort of decloak is in. The walk the backstep comes in. Nobody expects the spy the second time around.
Brilliantly done here by 4th fence, but they've got to keep Moolah alive. That's the most important thing here. Have Uber. You can see those soldiers moving forward. Ryan even takes down Deanrule. They've only got 2 players to defend them here, so they've got to be very worried about this. However, they're going to start to lock out a lot of those positions. UG is still looking for a chance to find a shot. Wants to peek out towards that one, is watching the angle. Almost finds the demo there, but doesn't quite hit the flick. NOOBPANZER know now the onus is on them. They've absolutely got to find something to turn this one on its head. And killing QB is great and all, but they trade it back as well. So 4Fence, not losing too much. They've got that uber advantage. They have to actually use it, however. That's the most important thing here. And just as I'm getting excited, man, the pause?
It's always the worst timing. It's always the worst timing, isn't it? Man? Like, when you see the tail of the coat of the medic like round the side of the crate, I was like, oh, this isn't gonna happen. This isn't gonna happen. We haven't just had one med drop like literally 20 seconds ago. Like, but to be fair, Moolah like knows the angles. Like, Moolah's a great medic, right? Moolah knows everywhere, every pixel that you can stand on safely and every pixel you can't, and is able to sit there safely. But like you say, 4Fence now, there's like. They have a big Uber ad. Pickles, of course, dropping rather than forcing. That's like an extra 40% ad because the respawn time is 2. So, like, Pickles, 38%, like, miles away from Uber. Spawners coming in from the rest of 4Fence. And, like, yeah, there are players that are going to bomb in and try and force on the win. But using Uber really, like, you know, if you get, like, 1 or 2 kills, you can keep rolling forward because Pickles won't be getting for another 30 seconds, maybe 20 or 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, this actually could be that master stroke for 4Fence here. Finding the pick off of that, as he said, there's just such a big time discrepancy between when NOOBPANZER are actually going to be able to play effectively at that. We go back in, I'm glad to see it, and again, we're looking for that opportunity for 4Fence to move in. They have to make sure they don't drop as they all get forced as they push on in here, because that has been the story so far. And they're really slow at this. Look at that, Pickles.
Yeah, they had Uber. Yeah, I think they were really running back to deal with a flank clear or something, but like they lose both their soldiers bombing in, and that is absolutely not the plan over on 4Fence. They bombed those soldiers and aggressive, and the rest of the team just couldn't get into garage. So Brugman and Demo dying for absolutely naught. There is still a sniper up on Hugie, which is really not what you're looking for, pushing into second point here. As Uber charges, it's traded out from either side, but I feel this has to be in the favour of 4Fence, surely, with the sniper still up on the board. Ryan and Hugo both taking down both soldiers out of the game, and now the spawners back in as well, coming in from 4Fence. Like, how long can NOOBPANZER stay in here?
It's true. They don't have the best of positions here. GG wants to try and contest, but you can see it's littered with stickies. Hugie doesn't quite find that shot onto the scout who's roaming, but Hugie will die regardless, and Hugie is able to really push forward here, but the whip shot, no, Hugie can't make it happen, and the stalemate comes anyway. It does reset towards that mid. That was crazy to see. Honestly, I have a big question though, coming into this next part. Do they expect to spawn it the third time?
It's the age-old question. if they expected it the first time, didn't expect it the next time, I don't know. Like, it's tough to say. Like, if QB pulls it off again and gets like a drop or something, like I'd screw. I don't know. There's a long way to go before that. There's 7 minutes to be precise. And a spot in the grand final still up for grabs. Nothing separates these two teams. Still 0-0, still neck and neck. Mid-fight number 2 on its way. Brugman bombing in very, very high. On with D-Rule as well. Going to try and land it onto Pickles, who's taken very, very weak. Taken down as well as Moolah. Safe all the way back towards Joke. They're going to have to retreat. They're going to have to deal with this pressure in from Hugie as well. Hugie on the scout, running it in onto Nevo. Nevo trying to body block, but cannot body block enough. Hugie gets the frag and the mid-win for NOOBPANZER.
Oh man, that is exactly what they needed. NOOBPANZER. They've taken advantage. They've taken control. They've got Granary in hand. Now it's up to 4Fence to do something stellar, or obviously there's a chance of a misplay, but more likely 4Fence to do something stellar to find that opening here, to stop them from pushing all the way through. Big Uber ad. Can they push it out? Pickles is going to have about... I got confused for a second there. Yeah, is it going to have about 30%? Yeah. That should be enough.
Yeah, it's maybe enough. The one thing that worked in 4Fence's favour is that 3 players fell on NOOBPANZER, so they had a lot of players capping. Can we say they couldn't really walk forward and start taking lobby control early, and the punishment for that is that now there's 6 players in the blue just sat here on their own second. They've got traps set up. They've got players on this point ready to fight as the Uber charge comes in from NOOBPANZER. They might be catching these soldiers on top. Actually, trading 1 forward. That is massive for 4Fence. They just hang on.
That is brilliant for them, and you can see already that the scouts are posting up, going, okay, well, How about Nubo? We could go for this one. You can see that Nevo absolutely wants it, and with Panzer losing Ryan, that's actually big. Going for the back cap doesn't quite make it happen. It definitely puts the fear of God in full fence. That would have been such a brutal way to lose out on this map, and likely would have been with how much time is left on the clock, about 5 minutes now. But full fence not committing towards anything. That Uberrad is leaving second by second as NOOBPANZER have good positions and they hold it well now. Importantly,
big bomb.
Are you guys going to look for the bomb? With the oh, not quite. The demo goes down as well. That could actually be an opportunity to move out and move in, and they absolutely do try and use that Uber. But Mula doesn't get anything out of it. No space, no nothing, and well, pick up Ryan. And there's a lot of players dead. They don't feel comfortable. Importantly, the NG is still in last, right? They don't actually have that many player adds, right?
And they lost the demo as well. I think it was Hughie just ran in through the shutter, just kills Deli and just makes it like a bandit and just, you know, just runs away and makes it work perfectly. GG gets it's a pretty sad Uber charge from GG into the sentry gun, but it might not matter. The point pressure can come in. The heavy is up. The bombs come in onto the point, trying to get onto QB, and now everyone just piling themselves in. And NOOBPANZER, they had such a good chance. This was the moment when they could have punched their ticket into that grand final, but they just bottle it completely. GG, to be fair, there's not much you can do about a sentry gun like that blasting you into space, but all the re-aggression, people bombing into the heavy, it just does not work. 6-man wipe, 6 French survivors, massive Uber advantage. Pickles still hasn't even spawned in yet, and there's 4 minutes left. There is still time for offense. They could coast to coast this.
This is it. This is the opportunity. As we said before, in the previous rounds, it was no time left on the clock before these things happen. And history doesn't always repeat, but it often rhymes. We could likely see something happen similar here again. Maybe not the golden cap overtime, but definitely right towards the end. An absolute nail-biter between these two teams, so evenly matched and full fence in a position that NOOBPANZER had not long ago. Can they make this happen? They have the players, they have the space, the Ubers going through. Can Nevo find anything? No good damage, only a kill onto the sentry. The space is alright, yeah, but they don't have quite what they need. This is not the kind of success that full fence wanted to find. The Uber for Pickles is oh so close. They're capping, they almost got the time. Nevo forced off just in the nick of the moment as NOOBPANZER will not let them make it happen. Yubi is waiting, looking for a chance to maybe make something happen. Brugman is taken away. There's only 3 members of full fence. They have to run away here. They go back to second. They could taste it, but it wasn't quite there.
The thing is, though, like, they have those last 3 surviving players on NOOBPANZER, like, they just have to stand on the point. There was such an immense amount of cap time, and they eventually have to use it. Pickles thinks, you know what, I cannot leave the point, I can't serve this rock, I have to just tank it and use. But doing so, Pickles used ridiculously late in that fight. There's like 40 ad. Mula can come straight back in. They have the same push, but again. And they're ready to go. They want to go. They smell the grand final. They think, you know what, still some residual cap time. We are going.
Yeah, Deli gets super deep here. Brilliant position for them. Can they cut off the rest of this? The Heavy's trying to unload the damage, but it's just not there. Full fence takes around 2 minutes on the clock. Can NOOBPANZER speedrun it? It's doubtful, as full fence and NOOBPANZER have looked so tight, so close across this series, and just that one round could seal the deal, could take them all the way to grand finals.
Still 1 minute and 45 seconds for the mid-fight of a lifetime. Pickles up on the crits. Everyone else ready and raring. This is their last chance to get through. There's a spot against Mandem waiting in the wings. Everyone now, this is the 1 minute and 45 seconds that defines the entire season. GG already spamming over towards Deli, who's taking a safe spot high up on the top of this mid. Hugo gonna bomb in deep. Ryan as well, gonna try and land and see what they can get. Brugman though, doing shells through the side. Demo getting 2 onto Ryan and onto Pickles, and the medic coming down is not what you want at all. That's gonna slow things a great deal. Mula gets out alive. There's 1 minute and 9 seconds left. This is like, this requires miracle level like plays to do this.
But there's only one way, and it's forward. NOOBPANZER Vor, as they move into the second point here, they really... Oh no, wait, that's their own. I just realised, I thought...
Yeah, Brugman was trying to run behind just to buy time, and that's bought another 20 seconds. That's bought another 20 seconds for them, and Mula still has Uber, which is at least another 8 seconds that they can't cap second for. Like, I'm doubtful they even get into second here, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I really don't think they will, especially with that Uber already ready for Mula here. They know what they need to do, they know what they can go for. GG, I mean, normally you'd want to, you know, sit, maybe edge this point, but it's just not going to happen. They don't have that time. They've got the scout, they want to try and contest it, but There he goes. Hugie is gone. Hugo is gone. Ryan is gone. And NOOBPANZER's chances of making his finals gone. It's 4Fence surge forward. They're going to have to take on Mandem in these grand finals. But what a beautiful performance to be able to take down NOOBPANZER here. And what a series as a whole. Impressive performances all around.
Phenomenal play from both these teams, but like you said, 4Fence coming out on top, coming out clutch in those final moments. It took 2 attempts to get through, but just think, like, literally like 2 minutes before those pushes were coming through, it was NOOBPANZER with the big ads. They were the ones pushing in. They had that awkward bomb towards the sentry gun. They got blasted into the skybox. The bombs onto the heavy just did not land. And yeah, NOOBPANZER, they was in their clutches. They had the perfect chance with minutes to go, and they get coast to coasted like that. It must feel awfully rough.
It must do, but I mean, it's all down to that tension of the game. And NOOBPANZER and 4Fence, they were trading back and forth, but neither could quite make that opportunity snap into place. And 4Fence, as you said, do find it. It feels brutal for NOOBPANZER. It could have been them. It could have been them, but the opportunities don't quite land, and the dice don't quite roll up face for them. 4Fence, they were really on top of everything. And I think a big part of that is the fact that communication was clean, that they've got these veteran players who are really able to keep that one moving forward. And you love to see it, right? 4Fence, I don't know. I'm just honestly really impressed by what they were able to put out to show today.
I am as well, and like the grit to battle back. They were like, it's the classic thing. I can't remember who said the quote, but there's some. I heard a TF2 cast like ages ago saying the quote of map picks don't matter. Like, it doesn't matter who picks what map. And like 4Fence is just proving this. They've picked their map has been the first pick twice, and they've just lost it both times, and they come back to win the series. Like, does it really matter? They can just play whatever. Like, it's fine. The maps they're picking are the ones they're losing, but the fact that it's so close, all 3 maps going down to like round-winning caps in the last, like, I think, like, was it 3 or 4 minutes on all 3 of the maps? The final cap coming through, and like, especially on that granary map, I really thought NOOBPANZER had done it, and I thought, you know what, NOOBPANZER v Mandem, the rematch. Obviously, Mandem had a good run yesterday, but like, maybe NOOBPANZER versus Mandem versus 4Fence is a potentially even closer final, because like this 4Fence team, I don't know, they've been sketchy during the season. They've lost some games they absolutely should have won, and they've had a couple of rough series. Obviously, like we said earlier, they had to battle to even make it into playoffs to begin with, having to play that like half online, half on LAN game last weekend just to sneak it in 4th place. But this is a new look 4Fence team. They are ready, they are raring, they are on top form. And like, this final is shaping up to be great.
Yeah, I mean, 4Fence 4 finals as we bring up the logs now. Really, as you said, running hot, and I hope they bring that heat into the finals. I really want to see more from them in the grand finals, and I think it's going to be such an exciting series. So definitely stick around for that one. That's at 21, if I remember correctly.
21 or 21-15.
21-15.
Depends on what the team's
you know how players are.
It's technically 21, so that means like it's any time between like 21 and 22 for starting. No. But like, be there at 21 just in case you don't miss the start of it, right? Like,
yeah, we started pretty quick. Oh, bring back up the logs. We were going to talk about it. I just wanted to go, sorry. And I think, you look at these numbers, and you look at Nevo, a player I was highlighting right at the start, man, 28-3 in a map that felt so close as it was. What an insane amount of numbers to be putting up. Such an impressive performance from this guy, and a key part of what allowed 4Fence to have that success. And I mean, I can't see the breakdown on like who they were killing, but a lot of that was killing soldiers. A lot of that making sure that Uber kind of trade and an advantage was absolutely around for the side of 4Fence, and what eventually allowed them to lead into that last. Really well done. Great Uber usage, especially in the last section. Was a little bit shaky at times for 4Fence, but that's because they're up against such difficult competition in NOOBPANZER.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to point out with this is, like, I don't know, I like looking at medic logs, and Mula, like,
one death.
Guy died 1 time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Mula was, to be fair, like the soldiers of Ryan and Gigi, Ryan and not Gigi, Hugo, sorry, we're doing a great job of forcing Mula, but they never got the kill. Like, in these post Ubers, Mula just never was caught. You see a lot of the time in these trades, like, the Uber chargers trade, both the medics are caught in no man's land, they're getting cut off. We even saw that earlier in the series. On Snakewater, we saw Mula getting caught a few times to this, when these like crazy trades are going on and there's players flying all over the place. Like, the medic can just get stranded sometimes. It happens, right? But yeah. on this granary map, like, it just never seemed to happen.
No. It didn't, and I think it's really interesting as well to look at the heal percentage. Right, you're looking at Hugo taking up the most heals on their team, and again, it shows kind of how much pressure they're putting on everything, and how they were contesting a lot in those mids, and kind of alongside that one drop showing for Piggles, that was everything.
Oh,
that was it. That
the second
was
spy,
the round,
the second spy play. You know the funniest thing is, right? There's gonna be the thing is, Forfins have to play again tonight. Do they like how many times does QB go spy in the grand final, right? Like, do they expect, like, I don't know, like, first time there's a stalemate, do they expect the QB spy? What about the second time they're in a stalemate? How about the third? You can spy. I don't know. Obviously, QB's not going to spiral into that, but like, I don't know. Like, most important game of the season so far for the team, and like, you decide, you know what, this is the time we pull out back-to-back spy. Like, you've got to respect it, and when it works the second time as well, like, it's fantastic to see. It's a well-deserved victory for Forfens, but Mandem maybe a whole new step ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if the French spy synergy will quite work out for them against Mandem, but I'm definitely really interested to see. As we said, that guy is around 21. Definitely stick around for that one. Go get some food, do whatever, maybe play a scrim or two. I don't know what you're up to, buddy. But that was an absolutely brilliant game. If you only just caught the end, definitely watch the first two maps on YouTube later at some point, or on Twitch here as well at essentials.tf. Well, essentials TF. Thank you all very, very much for watching. I've been Rocco, joined by Ben, and on the production has been Stu the Dude. What a great game. Watch the grand finals as they come up later, and hope you guys have a good night.